Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados right here on Think Critical YouTube. Your Saturday morning delight is back. And sorry we're a little bit late, but Jesse was finishing up bathroom time. We had to wait for it.
Forgive me, it's the morning.
The morning glory.
But it's the usual morning. It's timed. I said, "Oh no, it's the usual time."
It is the constitutional.
Yes.
We're missing an Aaron Sparrow. Do we think that he's sick or something? Do you think he was like out at the script club last night or something?
I don't know. I'm guessing he might have just overslept.
Yeah, maybe he went to the buffet and just overdid it.
The buffet at the strip bar. Oh, geez.
Once you hit like the mid 40s in a buffet will put you down for a couple days. Like you can't handle it.
Oh, gee.
I'm sure you've noticed it as well, Jesse. You're not as young as you used to be.
Am I not?
No.
Oh no.
I
still feel like I'm 4
blew my
years
knee
old.
out, man. What happened? My ACL just went.
That's funny too because Digger, my roommate, has a liability with 4 legs. He's just this giant black dog, and he's glorious, but you know he can be a bit aggressive, especially with other dogs. We had a dog that was brought in here by one of the clients, this old dog, and we had to put the dogs in the backyard, and they were not happy as this other dog was in their domain and they were stuck outside. And I opened up the door to hand something to Digger from outside, and the little dog ran in, attacked the old dog, and then the big dog went to go attack, and this big dog would have eaten it. And I had to jump on the dog with my toes tucked under my knee and hit my knee and like really injured my PCL a little bit just recently. Not fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, not fun.
Dylan could have tackled both of those dogs and not taken any injuries because he's still young.
Well, thanks, Dylan. Where were you?
You mostly
Unfortunately, not there.
Man, big news.
Big news.
Week when it comes to not only comic books but all of pop culture. We got the Netflix bowing out of Paramount stuff,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll get real movie release times like we have in the past.
Yeah.
You excited about this, Dylan?
I saw that there's that leak call from Zaslav saying this might even fall through too, and if that happens, we just go forward with just being Warner Brothers, and that's the preferred path. I hope that happens, but I am
If
happy
that falls through, they get
Wait.
$7 billion.
Wait,
Yeah.
what happens if it falls through? Because that's interesting to me. Because I found it so interesting because with every possibility, you know, there's been just a lot of damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know. So it was like, it's going to be on Netflix. I'm like, well, that's interesting. All of a sudden, Netflix is going to have all of this IP. They can't fuck every one of them up, right? Maybe something good will
You'd
come
be
of it.
surprised.
You know, hold my beer. I said, okay, hold my beer. But you know, I was like, that's kind of interesting on some level, even though they're probably going to fuck them up. And then when they said, oh, okay, no, now it's not going to be Netflix, it's going to be Paramount, Warner Brothers. And then like I realized like the Paramount catalog and Warner Brothers catalog, I'm a big like, you know, like my kind of I would say more hobby because I only ever really dabble in film, but I like film a lot. You know, I've had a very, very big movie collection my whole life. Paramount's got a library, you know, of films that I've been watching all my life, and so does Warner Brothers. And you know, we've seen this before when Fox all of a sudden was owned by Disney, and it was like they had a whole bunch of arbitrary, like, what the hell are they going to do with this? What the hell are they going to do with this? I actually happened to like Predator Badlands, which I saw recently, even though I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really did like it. And you know, but it definitely, like, there's a ton of things. If you go look at the Fox deal, all the things that Disney got that are just there they are, because now they're owned by Fox, and like, what does it mean? So it's a little bit, when I saw the list of Paramount properties and Warner Brothers, I'm just like, fuck, Warner Brothers had too many properties before. Like, I've been wanting to go in and pitch DC films for years and just go, break off the Vertigo universe, give me $1 million and let me start making a series of 100 Bullets films, you know, and then we can move on to this, that, and the other thing, and like do these things cheaply, well done, and like one at a time, and build a little atmosphere and build a world. Because like that whole, there's so many properties within the freaking Vertigo thing just by itself. And DC's never taken full advantage of the Warner Brothers catalog. So now they're going to go over to Paramount, where they already have a huge, they're one of the biggest film companies on planet Earth. They've been doing this forever. And they're going to just get added into that. It just seems like such a clusterfuck. So back to my question, Dylan, what'll happen if this deal doesn't go through? Can you explain that better?
If this doesn't go through, there was a leak call with Zaslav. Zaslav was essentially like what Wes just said, where he's like, we get $7 billion and then we just keep pushing forward and keep doing what we're doing and making movies. That's essentially what he said. He's like, there's a possibility this doesn't happen. If that case, we just go back to work, was what he said.
Because it has to be approved by
Pass
like the
regulatory.
FCC and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I vote for that as well.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I do prefer Paramount to Netflix. At least we'll still get movies in theaters, and at least they still prioritize that. Unlike Netflix, who was lying about all that. Because at first they're like, oh, we're going to shorten the window to like 15 days. And then with all the backlash, like, oh, no, we'll keep it 30 days. And then that's
the big problem. Do you guys still go to movies?
Yeah, I go all the time.
I love the movie going experience. You know, somebody the other day was talking about, I was on Film Threat. There's a film guy come on, and it's so funny because when you start to have to like talk about this to sort of defend it, all of a sudden the conversation becomes very racist because everything has to be pointed out in all these separate terms. You know, like, I was in the movie theater with all these black people and it was such an exciting experience, he was saying. But he's on the money, you know, and like that's like an amplified version of it. I was talking to Digger the other day about remembering seeing The Nutty Professor with my family. And there was another one, but like there was just a string of movies at the time that were comedies that me and my family found so funny. And there are 6 of us, you know, my sister and 2 of my brothers and my mom and my dad. When we were laughing in that theater all at once, surrounded by other people in the theater, we had to go see the movie again because we were covering up the jokes during that scene with the family, and they're like farting and like, we are just down the line, you know, and the laughter's going from laughter to shut up, I can't fucking hear. I can't shut up. Just as you're watching a thing, that experience, like going to see Lord of the Rings opening night for all 3 of those movies, and even bad ones like you know, like Force Awakens, you know, middling ones and stuff, but where you leave and there's a lot of people there and we're all having a conversation. It's like my favorite thing ever. On the podcast, you know, I do 6 days a week. I do a podcast called Coolest Alive. And, you know, my whole goal with it, especially like when I expanded, because all we do is just gush about things. You know, Mondays, you know, we gush about music, and Tuesdays we gush about animation, Wednesdays we gush about comics, and Thursdays we gush about live action, and Fridays it's like wild card, whatever I want to talk about, you know, magic cards or Dungeons and Dragons, anything. But it's just all celebration. Yay this, yay this, yay this, yay this, yay this. And the yay this is because the monoculture in America especially, but because American monoculture was really shared by the world, it has been destroyed. And I think it was destroyed very, very purposefully. I think we have a huge war between secret societies going on planet Earth right now. You know, the J.D. Vance Illuminati Society and the Illuminatis who are eating babies and God knows what other factions that are here. But there was a very concise effort to make all of the properties that were beloved by generations into things that were unrecognizable to the previous generations and cut the monoculture in half. And we so need to bring the monoculture experience back as much as we can. And, you know, that is definitely the biggest problem with the Netflix deal, was just the threat that theatrical window was going to be shortened and shortened and shortened, because that is the quintessential shared experience. I went to a theater. I saw it with people in my community. I could tell we all liked it. I could tell we didn't really like it. You know, like that's just something that I don't think we should lose. And I think that more than that, people like us should all try to consciously understand what it is we're doing every day when we get on the live stream or something like that. We are trying to connect to that consciousness that is sharing in all these experiences and enjoy it together or lament together when we have to.
Indeed.
Yes, I agree with that. Going to the movie theater is a magical experience. I go all the time and experience something. Being put in a dark room with a bunch of strangers and then all feeling the same thing is something that is magical and something you don't want to lose. But COVID gave these streamers exactly what they wanted, and it helped kind of put the final nail in the coffin of movie theaters. Now, thankfully, come back a little bit since then, but who knows how it'll go from here. And another problem with these streamers, though, like Affleck and Damon talked about when they were on Rogan's podcast, they're like, Netflix gives you a white sheet when you go to make a movie for them, and it says, this is how you should structure your movie. You need your characters to reiterate the plot 85 times during the movie because people will be on their phones. Normally, you structure a movie like this, but you can't structure it like that. You need to put an action scene in the very beginning to hook people from the beginning. And
Well, Shakespeare believed in that.
And that's different than when you go to the theater, and it's much more of a commitment to where if the first 20 minutes are boring, you're not going to get up and leave a movie theater. Be like, I paid $15. I'm here. I'm going to sit it out, and I'm committed.
Wow,
to where if
that's
you're
interesting.
watching a movie on streaming, you're like, you're bored for the first 20 minutes. You're like, what else is on? I have a million at my fingertips. I have a million other things I can watch right now, or I could scroll Twitter, or I could watch a live stream, or I could do 800 million other things. So there's so many things competing for your time compared. You're in a theater, you have to put your phone away. You have to just generally, if you're a respectable human being, you have to put your phone away. I'll say not everyone respects that, but it's a much different experience. And a lot of movies that succeed in the theatrical form would not succeed on streaming because people would just turn it off and be like, beginning of this is boring. Like that annoys me.
Fincher shooter movie with fucking.
I saw that twice in theaters. That movie's great, but unfortunately, people like you, Wes, a lot of people like you with no attention span can't watch it. Yeah,
I walked out of one battle after another.
I did not go to see. I didn't go to see one battle after another because, like I said, I see a lot of movies, and I saw the trailer for that in front of every movie I saw for like 3 months straight, and I was like, I did not care about this movie at all. I hated that trailer so much.
I kind of thought the Benicio del Toro stuff, the Friends stuff, seemed fun, but as soon as you see the movie, literally, I went to go see it with my son, not realizing how salacious and gross it was, but I didn't like walk out because of that, because he's like a teenager, and I was like, well, if he's going to experience this stuff, let him experience it with his dad, kind of thing. And but 30 minutes in, he and I just kept looking at each other like, do you feel gross? Because I feel gross. Like, I don't like these people. I don't care what happens to them. And it's a movie that's really up my friend Digger's alley. And he was like threatening to see it. He's like, I want to see it. I want to see it. I bet I'm going to like it. And he said, I saw one battle after another. I said, oh, yeah, what'd you think? And he said, I just said, see, I told you, man. It's like they made a really weird movie. You do not want to like those people.
The movie you have to like. Come on, Jesse.
Was it that bad? I have no interest in seeing it.
Oh, Wes, it's that bad in that it makes your brain do all these somersaults about what a liberal voting type personality, a liberal entertainer who believes themselves to be like, what they think of themselves and what they're doing, and the idea of freedom fighting and rescuing ICE, right? Case in point, the lead black woman who is objectified the entire film is an asshole thrill seeker who's not doing this for any sort of virtuous reasons. She's an asshole. She's very selfish. Every choice she makes in the movie is like to empower her id. And then literally the main character, Leonardo DiCaprio, within like the first 5 minutes of the movie, he basically says out loud to the audience, the reason why I'm here is I like fucking black chicks.
That's pretty weird.
It's really weird. Literally, your heroes are morally corrupt, and she cheats on the boyfriend with the general who she purports to hate and despise because he's one of these ICE type guys or whatever. And they have an intimate relationship where Leonardo DiCaprio gets cucked, and his kid that he's raising isn't his kid. It's the other kid. And my son had figured it out within 30 minutes. And he's like, that's going to be the general's son that they have. And I just went, oh, I hope, oh. do we want to leave? and he was like, yeah, let's go.
You left?
And we just went, got
you
right
leave?
out of there.
You
Which
did?
is also a fun experience.
best
I want to
thing.
be able to say I left the theater.
Oh, good on you, Jess. No, I left the Manchurian Candidate remake with Denzel and Liev Schreiber and didn't look back. It was like this. Me and Pete, we went to the movies. We always go to movies together, and we were like, "Do you want to go? Go to the bar, get this beer?" You're like, "Yeah, let's go." And that's the best decision you could ever do. Good on you.
So you know Mark Miller, the comic writer?
I know Mark Miller, the comic writer.
Yeah, he likes a lot of movies, and he actually texted me when he was done with one battle after another. He goes, "I can't believe I went into that movie." He's like, "I had no idea that this was what it was about." And he generally speaking enjoys the movie going experience, but he was not happy.
He's
It
getting
was
a taste
strange
of
that he texted me about it.
Wes, they had to say a few days afterwards that it was a comedy. like a few days after it had been released, they were like, because it's a comedy, and I was like, it was not a comedy. It was a weird movie. There was nothing funny about the beginning. You're just like, ugh. This is literally one scene after another that just makes you feel like gross, and you sit there going,
the name of the movie, one scene after another.
yeah, it should be. And but literally, you just look at the screen with your mouth open, going, this is what this writer thinks is a hero. This is what heroes
He's gonna win
look
the
like?
Oscar, dude.
He's
Or
gonna win the Oscar. Yeah.
well, and at the same time, it's either what I'm saying to you, or it is the single greatest piece of subversion that has come out of woke Hollywood, because it is roasting them the entire film by demonstrating that all their motivations are completely superficial and egotistical. It was really sort of weird. But because I'm somebody who came from more a liberal leaning standpoint, I don't want to see them roast themselves. So I'm like, you're roasting yourself. But maybe that's exactly what they're supposed to do. I have a question actually to tie it back to the whole Warner Brothers Netflix Paramount thing, because I am just curious about this, and I guess it doesn't matter anymore because Netflix isn't getting the deal. But why is it more beneficial for Netflix to go so quickly to streaming? Does anybody deeply understand, Dylan? Do you have any understanding of how you would I would imagine that model where we've created this movie going experience, and then we have different tiers. It used to be it moves to VHS and home video and then whatever, but now it goes to streaming. I would imagine that to keep the 2-tier model, we do it over here, we give it a moment, then we do it over here.
They want to destroy the 2-tier model and go to a digital-only distribution system.
Yeah,
where they're the market leader.
Is that really more beneficial financially to them?
For them, yes.
Yeah.
Over
Does anybody
Disney
understand
and
how?
Paramount, because they're the worldwide leader in digital movie and television.
So there's just so many more people who could see it but not get to a theater that it's just.
No, don't go to the theater. Pay your $6 or your $15 or $30 or whatever it is for Netflix. Forget about the theater and just watch it in your house.
Yeah.
That's their model.
Well, wait, is
So the sooner it
Netflix
shows up,
doesn't charge
the
you
less
for the Netflix
the less-
movie, so they're not making $7 or anything. It's free.
No, but they keep your subscription.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, keeping your subscription, they have so many other things. They have so many other pieces of overhead. You would think that just having an additional window, because if you think about it like this, how they do it right now, Wes, if you just went back in time and you said, okay, but instead of the way they did it right here where they went digital, we also put it in theaters 5 months ahead of time. People got to see it in theaters, and then it came to streaming. Would it really hit the bottom line of how much they got for the streaming, or would it increase it by adding box office revenue plus whatever they got from streaming?
I'm
That's
pretty certain
my
that they
question.
want to put movie theaters out of business, and they want to be the biggest game in town via digital distribution.
They want to
that-
be the only game in town.
Yes. They don't want to compete with theaters.
And they're looking at it okay, the business model with the theaters is a lot more kind of clear cut on
They have to share revenue
success.
with the theaters.
They do, but they do have to share revenue with the theaters. Now, the split on it is one of the reasons why they've cut down to a 45-day window, because for the first week or so, the studio gets almost all the money. And the longer it goes, the better it is for the theater. But it's the reason why they keep it down to a short
Lucasfilm did that.
exclusivity winner. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they can determine how much revenue they've made on a specific movie. And based on, because it's a 1-to-1 thing. With once you eliminate the theater and you go to a all streaming all the time, they look at it like they're going to get more of your money by keeping, you're not just paying them $15 for one ticket. You're paying them $15 and then $15 next month and next month and next month and next month. But it's not clear whether or not you're sticking there just because it's basically going to the gym membership model, where their whole business is, let's hope you forget you're paying it every month. Look at it like a sunk cost.
But yeah, the quicker they get it from
more
theaters into Netflix is the quicker that FOMO dies, and you don't even have to consider going and paying that $15. You're like, I paid $20 for Netflix. It's more than enough.
Yeah, and then I'll watch it when I feel like it.
I guess the reason I don't understand it is because it's ego, and I don't think that way. So I just I'm like, well, why would they do this? But I get
because they want to kill their competitors.
Yeah, Wes is looking at me like, you idiot, because they're going to crush them in business, and I'm like, oh wow, I've never had that kind of thought in my brain, even though I see people thinking like that. Is it really as simple as that? It seems foolish.
If they don't have to compete with Warner Brothers and Paramount and
I understand the control aspect of it.
They can just make all the slop that they want. Right now, Netflix doesn't make a whole lot of good stuff, but there's so much stuff on their platform, and it's so widely, accepted as the best streaming platform out there that they don't even really have to try. They can fuck up their own Stranger Things finale, and it doesn't really hurt them.
What happens to that? Because I was just at Toy Fair, and there's a channel that I like to enjoy, the World Class Bullshitters. They've been doing a weekly journey to Ollie's to see the cascade of fallen merchandise from various platforms, properties over the years. Now, for those of you people who are like toy guys like me and Aaron are, we've always had a savviness that other people don't quite have, because for me and Aaron, who are invested in getting toys and not having to pay, say, $600 for a toy that's going to be really worth a lot of money in a short period of time, you have to have a certain amount of awareness for what is exciting, what people are excited. Ooh, let me get that before I can't get that anymore. Let me grab this, whatever. And within that context, you can sort of feel out the health of any given property. And there are no healthy properties. Starting
K-pop
with
Demon
Star
Hunters,
Wars.
dude.
Well, K-pop Demon Hunter, that's actually, you're right. You just named one healthy property. But K-pop Demon Hunters, even though it's great, and we talked about this last time, I love K-pop Demon Hunters. It was really good. Did you ever watch it?
Dylan's the one that hadn't watched it yet.
Dylan hadn't watched it. Yeah, it's good.
A fool.
That's right. It's really good. But that is the only thing. Like when you go to Toy Fair, and more than that, it's interesting. I was telling Digger, I'm like, this is your fault, because at Art Asylum was some of the beginning of starting to carve out toy licenses. For anybody who understands toys, there used to be a master toy license that would govern an entire property. And like, I have the master toy license for Star Trek. I am the only one who can make Star Trek. So then people like Digger started going in and they went, hey, look, I know they got the master toy for Star Trek, but like nobody's making this. And you could totally sell this in Star Trek. Could you give me a very specific license for 3-inch dildos? Because those with Star Wars on them, I could sell those, right? So now, flash forward 20 years later, the licensing market and the licensing for a property like Marvel, Stitch is licensed by every little toy company under the sun.
Street Fighter.
Yes, and you go around and all you find are one version of the license after another, over and over again, kind of looking similar, especially because there's a category now called Pops, which includes the Funko Pop type toys, bobbleheads, and lots of other kind of various things, you know, what it's made of. Oh, well, it's a vinyl diorama. And like, you know, like there's all these little ways to sort of sugarcoat this exact same product that has been divided 1,000 times by Marvel for all these licensors. And they can't sell it. Me and Digger kept going to the booth going, isn't this the same thing as the other thing? Isn't that the same thing? Did you see? What is this? And then we went over to the bobblehead booth. And the bobblehead booth was better than any of the stuff that any of the other people had. And like we're sitting there and I realized, oh, it's because it's bobbleheads. And like in order to sell these, they need to make them really nice. So the bobbleheads, oh, well, that's the cheaper bobblehead company. There's multiple bobblehead companies. But really, it was just so telling. Like, you know, I know what the Ollies look like right now, and they are filled with Star Wars toys. They are filled with most of the Marvel toys that have been putting out. Marvel has kind of corrected a little bit in what it's been putting out, so it's had less things getting there. But they have mountains of their toys from their films, and every woke, stupid, just like here we're pushing in this direction when the audience isn't necessarily interested in going that way. They are on these discount shelves. And all of these companies that have been cannibalizing themselves and eating away over the years at all of this merchandise, which used to be billions of dollars every year.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars and
Wars.
Even, you know, Disney, like their merch sales are. So what does that say? What does that say about the long-term health of the industry and anything?
You guys ruined it, Jesse. I don't like you blaming your friend Digger. It was you and Aaron's fault when you were like, I'm 45 years old.
Don't forget Doc.
And if there's a good version of a G.I. Joe toy out there, I'm going to buy every single one of them so kids can't play with them no more. Now they're all
that's
expensive and huge.
bull crap. That's
exactly what happened.
Excuse me, that is not what happened. Due to
you
the
guys destroyed the toy market
toy
for children.
collectors like me, there is a 6-inch line of G.I. Joe figures in addition to the other things that are available. Okay.
My kids can't even afford a Transformer anymore because of
no. I am a scale Nazi. Okay, so this isn't me because that's right.
Aaron and I call you guys size.
That's right. I am Nazi about the scale. Only 6-inch.
I cannot see this.
Murder all other toy scales in the oven. Melt them in plastic.
Mein Führer, I can walk.
Bad, terrible. Let's stop that joke right now. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Size queen.
Yes. Aaron and I call you guys.
I am an Ashkenazi Jew by blood, so I would be in the oven,
man.
so it's okay.
Oh shit!
You say that, but the AI doesn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I think that when it comes to all that Ollie surplus stuff, I mean, there's a kind of willful ignorance when it comes to producing these action figures because it's like, go back to what Todd McFarlane said, and he got in hot water. He's like, you know, these kind of these girl figures don't sell. Why would I make them? But they're compelled to make these, like the Acolyte action figures that are now peg warmers.
Well, that's part of the license that you sign is you have to make so much of this and this and this. And you know, like Lucasfilm decides what characters that you're going to put in which box, and you know they go, oh, we're going to do more Reys and Revas than Han Solos and Boba Fett's, and you end up with a dead market.
Yeah, Aaron and I have been told similar, like, you know, insider things that, you know, over the past couple of years, there's been a lot of shifting of like who's had the licenses and stuff. And some of that came from frustration over what they had to make. There's a really an additional interesting thing going on.
Toys R Us out of business, right?
Oh yeah, although there's a Toys R Us that came back that's in my area. I didn't hear anything about them coming back, but I happened to run into it on Long Island.
They're doing a handful of them. There's probably about 12 of them across the country. They originally started doing them in Macy's.
Yes, I had heard that. But yeah, they're doing them independently. I didn't like it. It wasn't nice. But the other thing that is worth keeping in mind as well, which is a very interesting factor in this whole merchandising thing and all of it, is something like Kurtzman's Star Trek, right? They've got this weirdo contract that a lot of these people have where it has to be like 15% different than the original thing. And that 15% difference clears it as owned by them. So they were trying to make all these sweetheart deals for things that they knew had merchandise built in where they would get a piece of the merchandise. And boy, did that blow up in their faces, both of the companies that didn't sell any toy merchandise and had the license, and them who really made it very easy, I think, to in the near future just cut them out completely because they're going to go, well, we don't want to pay those guys. You know,
Nobody ever bought Star Trek toys anyway.
Well, they never did a very good job with them until Art Asylum. Art Asylum, that was like some of the last.
The Star Trek
cool
ships
Star
are
Trek
cool.
toys.
I love the fucking Enterprise, but it's nothing compared to the Millennium Falcon.
No, but did you
Oh,
see the Borgs and the Klingons that Art Asylum did at the end? They didn't really do a lot of fun things at the time. Like most of the toy makers, the toys were very boring. But I think they could have done something with it. It's
Nacelle's
funny.
doing a bunch of stuff, and they still
They're
look like
doing
shit.
well. They're doing them now, and they don't look great. And I'm one of the biggest Star Trek fans on the planet. And when I saw them at Toy Fair, I looked at them for a second, and I went, "What is this?" And I was like, "Star Trek toys." And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I think I recognize that guy. And for the first time ever, I said, oh, wow, I think it might be too late for this.
Yeah. Especially with what Paramount has done to the Star Trek band. So we do have a sponsor for the show today. We got the guys over at TCM Press. Once again, definitely check this guys out if you want to meet Aaron. Anybody heading to MegaCon 2026, TCM Press and the Comics Mint are back with exclusive limited edition comics you won't find anywhere else. And the best part, Editor-in-Chief Aaron Sparrow, Head Writer Drew, aka Dolan Waddick, and artist Thiago da Silva will all be there signing copies and talking comics with you. And you're going to want to put these on your must-grab list. Silent Nights issues 1 and 2, including a very sexy VHS homage cosplay cover by Raichi and preview edition cover by Thiago da Silva. Unholy Nightmare issue 1 and 2, featuring an exclusive cover by comic legend Dan Fraga and Shelby Robertson. And finally, a surprise drop. Kneel Before Doomface preview edition with a jaw-dropping homage to Jim Lee's Uncanny X-Men number 274. You already know Aaron and Drew. Now you can meet them live and in person. These are MegaCon exclusives only. You snooze, you lose. All right. Can you believe Aaron hasn't showed up yet? But if you want to meet Aaron and Drew, obviously.
Is that why you said you snooze, you lose?
Oh, yeah. This guy's totally sleeping in. Are you going to MegaCon, Jesse?
I don't have any plans yet, but that's like the next thing on my docket to do. You know, so what we've been hoping to do for years now with Blacklight District Studio, which of course Aaron has a hand in all the things that I do, is go and tour the convention circuit and basically hang out all day, you know, do the typical convention thing. Usually I'll host panels and stuff for the conventions and then direct people to a concert that night that we'll put on. And we're going to do like, you know, we'll have artists come down, we'll do drink and draw, and we're going to do like, you know, just a whole event and tour the country doing that. So, and not the big, I don't want to go to the really big shows. I want to just go to like the solid city shows around the country. And this year, I think, you know, probably halfway through the year, we're going to start. So I got to start making phone calls. So there's a chance, but I don't know how it sounds. It sounds like it's soon. What's the story
about you?
About me
doing a panel. You were hosting a Star Trek panel, and the star dude of DS9 was being a total dick to you, and the whole crowd turned on him because they thought you were amazing.
Okay. This is interesting, right? So I was hosting for, I think I only did like 3 shows with them because they refused to pay me. And I was just like, this is a lot of work because I was hosting all their Hall A panels. And I was a big Wizard fan. So I had like pitched them. I'm like, let me help you bring your brand back. Like you need some people who actually get comics and shit. And like, you know, have somebody representing that actually cares. And I was trying to, you know, demonstrate that or whatever. So I was really out to impress. And they have, if you've ever gone to these Wizard World shows, I mean, you know, they have impressive lists of people who come out on their stage for Hall A. And I was interviewing all of them, you know, Michael Rooker and, you know, just really big deal people. We had, what's his name too? Daryl from Walking Dead. So on one of these days, and I think it was the second day of the show, I was doing my schedule in Hall A. And if you've ever been to some of those Hall A panels, especially because it's like the biggest celebrities at a particular convention, you know, some people will just sit in that room all day long. You know, they just, as soon as the first panel starts, they're sitting there and some of them don't move because, you know, who's coming on next? Knight Rider, you know, just all day. So I had done research on everybody who was there. There's plenty of people who I was like fans of, but for the people that I didn't really know, like I got to know them, and I did a great job. I was just very much like kind of setting. I wanted to set everybody up on the stage for success. I wanted to give them an opportunity to talk about things that were important to them and meaningful to them. And I did that for every single person. And like with every single person, you would see like a moment on their face where they were like, "Oh, you know about that? Oh, that's so nice. I'd love to talk about that. Yeah, that was for my brother." Like every one of them, because I that's what I tried to do. I wanted them to be so happy that they had sat with me, especially because one of my biggest idols from Star Trek was on my list, and that was Captain Sisko, Avery Brooks. And I was over the moon to meet this man. Deep Space Nine is my favorite Trek. It's just like, for me, it's the best show because it just has enough of the edge that is kind of missing from standard Star Trek, but still feels like Star Trek in its execution. And it's got the longest character arc with freaking Worf coming over from Next Gen halfway through Deep Space. It's really, if you've never watched Deep Space Nine, I highly recommend it. So I'm literally just giddy. And he shows up, and and I meet him for a moment, and he's a little brisk and sort of like cocky, but like I'm like, okay, it's all good, like I love you. Like let's do it. So we go on stage, and I start doing the show the exact same way that I've been doing it all day long, and he begins to stop and correct me over and over and over again, like about the most innocuous things you have ever heard of. And like I'm literally like, hey, you like babies, right, Sisko? I hate babies, actually. Don't tell people I like babies when I haven't said that I like babies. Sometimes I like babies, but not now. Like that sort of thing. Like I could not win. I'm like, but Sisko, your charity, shut up. Like, and at a certain point, literally a hush went over the crowd because I had a chance to endear myself to the audience for 2 days. Most of the people who were in this crowd, like they had gotten to know me, and I'm a nice guy. So like they just were just like, Jesse does not deserve this. like what are you doing? And the whole room was just stiff and lifeless for him as he did this thing. And I don't know how to describe this, but I've experienced it a few times now. I've seen it play out a few times now, and you see it a lot on the William Shatner documentary, The Captains. There is this thing that some actors do, often they're theater actors, where they will talk in a way that makes you wait and hang on every word they say. Like that's literally just an aggravating version of what he was doing. He was just determined to own the stage, own the room. Who the fuck is this guy? Shut the fuck up. I have a plan. But not like telling me, hey, I don't really need your help. You just sit up the side and we'll talk. Like just dissing me consistently throughout the whole proceedings. So suffice to say, I still love Deep Space Nine. I still love Sisko, but I don't want to hang out with him.
Let's hear for the fables. We got Jack Live. He says the Elsons haven't shown that they can run a movie studio. I think he's mostly right there, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have shown they can't run a movie studio, so I'm
Kathleen
still.
Kennedy got 8 years at Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
And look what she did with it.
Exactly. But it's not. I mean, Skydance had a couple of wins, but they weren't exactly blowing things up. Before they
Andor was incredible, but I felt like somebody made me like a $600 million passion project for me personally. I'm like, nobody else is watching this but me. They spent so much money on me. It's so good. They built this prison and all this other shit. Andor's awesome.
Andor's incredible.
I finally got Aaron to watch it too, and he hit me up immediately, and he was like, "No, it was really good. I see what you're saying about why it's so good."
Callum says, what Jesse said, I think there's a depopulation scheme by making everything gay and trans, especially in kids shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
He's 100% on the money. They're finding plastic in all of our semen. And I mean, I'm just so glad that people are like talking about this stuff because it really just, It needs to come to an end completely. They are poisoning us through the metals that are falling from the sky, the chemtrails that they've now admitted to. That shit has aluminum and barium in it. Aluminum is very bad for our systems. Mercury is very bad for our systems. All the autism, all the dementia, all the mental dysfunction that we're dealing with in society, a lot of it is being caused by how much metal is in our atmosphere. And unfortunately, they know this. At the highest level, they know this. They know what they're doing. They know that 440 frequency music makes us easier to control. They know that fluoride makes us easier to control. These are choices that they have made over the years that were above your fucking pay grade, baby. And these choices have amounted to a heap of garbage in all of our systems. And it is absolutely a thing. And the trans thing is double, right? Because, don't let the world fool you. I don't like to talk about this, but I'm non-binary. I know tons of fucking people in the gay community. Most of them are cool. It's these assholes on the internet that they want to propagate that like put out this whole me sort of thinking. Most people are not like that. The whole issue is meant to divide us. That's the main thing. Like, because they're already poisoning us, and our semen count is lower than ever. Our fertility rate is lower than ever. We're making babies.
Listen,
less
dude, I
than
went
ever.
3 for 3.
Speak for yourself, man.
I got it going on, dude.
Wait, you only had sex with your wife 3 times?
Wow.
3 kids,
I got
Doc,
the
that's all
4.
I
I'm
needed,
good.
dude.
No, I'd like to have more. But we need to be able to propagate. And literally, it is a whole multi-scaled thing that is shutting the stuff down. And there's never been a better time to be like, this is ridiculous. We need to stop all this. And if you don't believe me about the whole trans issue being a thing to divide the country, go talk to some old Russian men who were there before the wall fell. These same exact games were being played over there, and the same reaction was going on, but worse, because at the time you had a more Puritan sort of religious standpoint from a lot of the people, and they're pushing this trans agenda, and they went, no. Over here, we went, this is really annoying, but like, we don't want to hurt these people, but like, this is annoying. Please stop, and it has turned into no money in the films and no money in entertainment and a whole collapse of the shared reality that we were living in yesterday, but it has not, killed us like it did them.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff out there about Mr. Gates and some of his plays. Galb says, I did see that animated basketball movie, GOAT. It was a lot of fun. It's made by the same K-pop and Spider-Verse people.
Oh, my kids want to see that really bad.
What the hell is he talking about?
GOAT. It's all animal. It's all anthropomorphic animals playing basketball. It looked really good. GOAT. Like he's the greatest of all time. A nice, simple protagonist desire. I want to be the GOAT. So kids, my kids immediately were like,
"What is it in theaters? What is
yeah,
this
it just
thing?
came out
Netflix?
this weekend with Scream 7.
Oh, did you go see GOAT or Scream 7, Dylan?
I went and saw Scream 7.
Ooh.
Oh, what
Should you have seen GOAT?
I was supposed to see it last night.
It was similar to the last 2 Screams, where it's like a fun enough ride until the end, and then the ending reveal is really stupid and sucks.
Oh, that was the same thing. Yeah, all the they're like well-made pieces of trash.
Yeah, like there's moments that are good. There's like a lot of gore in it. Like there's some good kills in it. And then the ending is like, what are we doing?
Was it Mr. Withers, the janitor at the amusement park, like in Scooby Doo?
I'm gonna go see the Super Mario movie.
It was Fred, the janitor from Scream 1.
But they're
Throwback.
also,
That's right. We're referencing things.
With that, there's a new scary movie coming out. And the first trailer for the new scary movie was
I'm excited about
Scream.
that. The Wayans brothers finally have control of it back. For those of you real quick who don't know, but like just for me, it just makes it meaningful. They really kind of arbitrarily just got the scary movie franchise taken out of their hands after number 3, I think it was. And like basically the reasoning was like, oh, well, this title, scary movie, we just made it up. It's just a general term for parodying scary movies. But the scary movie was created by the Wayans brothers. That world was created by them. And then they just started doing movies with themselves. They brought in the Zucker brothers or the airplane guys. And And then there was a legal thing that's been going on for a little bit, and this one's the first one with them back as the producers and back in the movie. And as soon as I saw Marlon Wayne on the trailer, I was like, yes!
There you
A
go.
win for creative people. That's important to me.
Sally Akube, the Dakota Incident was an odd book. Any thoughts? I do not have any thoughts. The last 2 times that they've tried to relaunch the Milestone universe have gone terribly. They have basically gotten no decent creators, especially writers of note. And so I didn't particularly read it. Did anyone check out the Dakota Incident?
I looked for it on the shelf on Wednesday.
It was sold out?
No, I was specifically looking for a variant cover, the one that was the 52 homage, because I loved that weekly, the 52. So I thought that, hey, this would look good with the rest of my other 52s or on the spinner rack. But they only had the other variant cover, and I didn't bite. I got something else instead, though.
Yeah. But I would be down for a well-constructed Milestone relaunch with good creators, but it
Can I
doesn't
just
feel
say
like
a
that's gonna
couple
happen.
things?
Okay.
Just like a couple things about that, right? The coolest thing about, and then the worst thing about Milestone from the very beginning was that it was segregated. This is the Milestone universe for black people. That was cool for the people who felt invited. I remember I didn't necessarily feel invited into the Milestone universe. It was so black that it was a bit intimidating for me as a reader, and I didn't necessarily get into those things. Now, I'll say that still holds the case today, and it would do miles of good for them to fucking forget Milestone universe ever existed and just allow those characters to be a bunch of multiracial characters that exist within the DC universe and not exist within the playpen that we keep all of these races in.
They're in the
really
DC universe.
No,
Kinda
it's
yes and
really
no.
rather racist. The
Well-
whole bit of it, like, it was cool because you had a whole bunch of black creators who were doing this thing. But now as it continues on as a ghost of itself, we can't just keep bringing back this black universe. The first thing that should have been done 20 years ago was they should have launched a mainstream Static Shock ongoing. And the fact that they have not done that is stupid. They could have capitalized on that so long ago. That's been there for them to do. And that's been there. You know, Captain Marvel has not been very good. You know, I read it through 3 or 4 different reboots written by Brian Reed, you know, when they were trying to switch it from Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel. You know, Marvel said, we want to do something with this. We believe in this character. And they didn't believe in the character for the right reasons. But we believe in this and we want to do something with it. And they kept fucking going with it. And they still continue to keep going with it. That's what they should have done with Static. He should have had an ongoing, should have been written by somebody that mattered. When these books come out again, instead of just casting multiracial people, they should be casting people that make this shit important and make it something that's not this little offshoot thing. Do you want to get into the Milestone universe? But these great characters that they've created and some great stories that they can start telling. And at the very least, they could have put all of these characters into one book, whether it was Static Shock, had all of these characters as side characters, backup characters, whatever, supporting characters, and then eventually launched it into something more, more to build on it from there. There are so many good ways they could have gone about doing it. The characters that were created in the Milestone universe are great. They're really interesting, and there's a great artistic caliber behind it. There's a great story behind how it was, come to be. And honestly, I just feel like it's been completely mismanaged. And who the fuck gives a shit about Dakota?
It's the Dakota universe.
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares? Stop branding new universes.
No,
Just give me stories with the character that I like.
The
in the
Dakota
universe I like.
incident,
Right.
which is the inciting thing that brings them into the DC universe. They're not in the Milestone universe anymore. They're in the DC universe.
But
That's
weren't they
what the
already
Dakota
in the
incident
DC
is.
universe?
During the New 52, I believe you're correct.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
redid it again. That's what it is.
See, but it's just confusing. It's just adding more confusion to the thing.
Well, welcome to comic books. You should know this. You're a fucking writer.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I stopped trying to write for the big ones. Although with and I know we're talking about it later, with the absolute Batman thing, and they're expanding that. I reached out to Scott Snyder because he was trying to get me in there back in the day. I was like, I've got something that fits in the absolute universe. So we'll see.
I don't know.
Federico de la Casa. I've watched movies for almost 50 years. I've studied them. I've even made one. I've never seen a period like today where there's so many unwatchable movies.
I feel you there.
Yeah.
There's so
Dylan,
many
you
movies.
said there was 53 movies worth watching last year.
I did not say there were 53 movies worth watching. I watched over 53 movies. I did not say they're all worth watching.
In fairness, though, there's a couple movies that are out right now and coming out soon that actually get my interest for the first time since about 2019.
Project
There-
Hail Mary looks great, dude.
It's
Yeah.
Aaron.
Project
Yeah.
Hail Mary. I still want to see the Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
That's a good movie. It was good.
Scream 7.
Scream 7.
I definitely, yeah, I want to see it. I haven't. We're seeing it probably tomorrow night.
Nice.
And then, Mario Galaxy. I want to see. And Ready or Not, Here I Come.
Dude, Ready or Not,
I
was
love the first
great,
one.
and the sequel trailer looks awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I love the first one.
Yeah.
All right, Sparrow, what the hell happened? Did you sleep in?
Well, I set my alarm for 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. So
Ah, a little
no.
late.
Babu, I'm sorry. No, that wrong episode. Sorry.
You still gonna be at MegaCon?
yeah, that's the plan.
Man, it's gonna be a good time. You're gonna be having fucking sushi with HH and Drew and all the boys.
Is Sully coming? Sully, you coming down?
No,
Not this year,
Sully ain't
no.
got time. He had to get permission from his girlfriend now that he's fucking Don Juan DeMarco over there.
Don Juan de la Nooch.
Yeah. Sully don't make decisions like that anymore.
Not anymore.
But it does feel like, Aaron, that right now we are not in a golden age of film. When you get something like an F1 or a Top Gun Maverick, it does feel like hold on to this moment because you might not get another one for 2 years.
I
Well,
don't
and
know.
let's be honest. In any other era, Top Gun Maverick would have been a very mid film.
Uh-huh.
It would have been considered like, oh, that was good. You know, if it had come out in the golden age, we would have been like, it would have been just another movie that came out. You know, we'd been like,
It would have been a
what's
racer.
next?
I disagree with
Yeah.
that because I think it's better than the first Top Gun. The first Top Gun's regarded as like a great movie.
What's
I don't
So
think it's better
I
than
don't
first
think
Top
I
Gun.
don't think
Well-
Maverick would have. No, Top Gun Maverick's incredible. That's a great
It's
movie.
a very
I think no
good
matter-
movie. I just
Top
think
Gun
the first
Maverick
I
one's
think
is
better.
wherever that's released, it's gonna be considered a good
No,
movie.
it is a great movie, and we've all loved it multiple times when it was called Star
I think if
Wars.
F1
You
came
know.
out 20 years ago,
No,
it
but
wouldn't
wait,
be up for
yes,
best
that's funny.
movie.
That's
I
funny.
agree with you there on F1.
This is a
I
good
don't think
movie,
F1
but
is
it's
good.
not that good.
I like that one. Wait a second. Did anybody go back and watch Top Gun at the time before they saw Top Gun Maverick? Because me and my girl watched it, and we were like looking at each other like, this is pretty lame.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Well,
thought
it sounds
you were
like you got a bad
okay,
girl
well,
there.
during the
But
It's
during the
making you have
volleyball
bad
scene.
bitches on movies. It's a great film.
I love me some Tony Scott. So, I mean, it's beautiful.
A great opening scene where the one dude freaks out and he has to take him in there. He gets sent there, falls in love, loses his best friend, and he's got to go and save the day from the fucking communists. What are you talking about? This is a tour de force of a fucking film.
3-act structure, reliable,
Yes,
concise
it's a great
film.
movie.
Heroes
You're right. It
journey.
is textbook.
It is
I'm about to fucking
It
salute
really
the
is.
flag right now.
Love
It
it.
is textbook.
It's
It's
a nice
very
normal
textbook.
movie. I don't know.
Very
I mean,
good
you're being
movie.
I got
beguiled. You're being beguiled by the dulcet tones of Kenny Loggins, Wes.
There, and it makes you
And I don't, and I'm not going to fucking apologize for it. Why wouldn't I? Kenny Loggins would make anything better.
exactly.
Same
thing with
That's right
Journey.
there.
Fuck it.
Footloose.
We need
Gotta
more
cut
montages.
footloose.
But it makes you
Footloose is a
great.
very
it-
mid-film.
shoes.
it
Do you
does
guys
make you-
remember? You
propped
guys
up by
remember in
a soundtrack.
Footloose? You guys remember in Footloose the pivotal moment where Chris Penn learns to dance and he does the lightning bolt?
I mean, who could forget?
It does
maybe
make you-
maybe he's no Romeo, Jesse, but he's our loving one-man show. Whoa. Let's hear it.
Jag Live says the thing is Netflix is a tech company, not a production one. That is 100% correct. Now they do some of their own in-house production, but that's why we get so much crappy stuff out of Netflix, Dylan. Because
Well,
they're
yeah,
not
and they-
hiring other people to do it for them anymore.
Yeah, and when they do get people, they like to tell them how to make movies. That's why you'll watch a lot of Netflix movies and be like, these feel very similar and they all suck.
Yeah. Federica de la Costa says, about immorality in movies, I've watched Challengers with Zendaya. Every character in the film is despicable, and the director is praised for being queer. I didn't see Challengers. Is that a good movie?
I didn't either, but that's on you. Like, how are you going to Challengers? It's explicit about what the movie's about. Like, that's on you. That's like going to Brokeback Mountain and being like, why are these cowboys butt fucking? I wanted some good Western. Like,
Dylan, why are you victim blaming, Dylan?
Yeah.
Like,
In
that's
their
on you
defense,
going to see
Dylan.
Challengers.
In their defense, I don't think anybody believes that it can go any lower.
I
don't
thought
think
this was a
anybody-
tennis
No.
movie.
I don't think anybody believes that you would spend so much money and so much time on unlikable protagonists.
Yeah,
And yet they do.
we have all seen Zendaya, right? Everything
She's in good movies.
is fucking miserable.
No, she's in the fucking Spider-Man movie. She's in the Greatest
She's
Showman.
the most
She's in a lot of good
miserable
shit.
part. She's the most miserable fucking part of every Spider-Man movie.
No, she was.
Well, that's her
Maybe
character
that's
as
her.
She
written.
was
I've
good in
seen
one of them.
Zendaya was good as a young actress on Disney Channel. She was very talented and stuff. So that's all that I've ever seen. But she earned it. She was very, very good in the Disney Star thing. She was one of the people who you noticed. She was very charming, and I understand
was a
why Tom
detective.
Holland loves her. But she was strong and cool, and she I saw her in an interview, just very
I
expressive.
have no idea
with her
what is
face.
Challengers. What did it
It's
come
I
out?
wish that she
it's-
was expressive with her face in films. I liked her in The Greatest Showman. Like, I thought she did a great job. The Spider-Man movies, I have not liked her in because I have not.
But that's
liked
not her
that
fault
character in
because
those movies.
she's not
Yeah,
MJ.
that's what I'm
That's
I
saying.
don't
their
blame
fault.
her.
Yeah, she's Michelle.
Yeah.
That's not Mary.
Dylan, what's Challengers about? I've
All
never
right,
heard of this.
So
one.
I never watched it, but I saw the trailer a bunch because it played for it before a bunch of movies I saw. So it's a tennis movie where Zendaya and two dudes are like young tennis prodigies, and so they're in the same circles, and they all have a three-way. And then it fast forwards like years later, and she married one of the dudes, and the other guy's upset about it, and he wants to bang her. And then the two dudes are going against each other, and I guess she coaches one of them, and they have a bunch of sex and stuff. And that's
Like it's
it.
oh,
Wow.
And she
Like
makes
they
the
took
two,
the
and she
plot
makes the
from
two
Wimbledon
dudes
and-
make out and stuff,
Oh,
and that's
geez.
like, yeah. So,
it's like Itu Mami Tambien in reverse. You ever
but that's
seen
like
that movie?
all in the trailer. So that's why I'm saying, like,
Okay.
if you went in the movie, you're like, I thought this was a tennis movie. I can't believe they did all
See,
this.
I
Like,
thought
it's
they were
very
gonna
upfront about it. It's not
In
like it's
fairness,
hiding any of that.
I thought they were going to subvert my expectations. I expected it like a big three-way movie, but I thought I'm going to go in there and it's really going to be about tennis.
All right. Here
Look
you
at
go.
Ryan Johnson me.
Caleb says, so were Grace Randolph's parents brother, sister? I don't believe so. I think that she thought that she was jumping on a moment where she was going to be the white knight
Mhm.
and didn't realize there was going to be an avalanche of people being like, listen, let's
Wow.
not make fun of this guy that's got Tourette's. He's got a
cool-
legitimate condition. Don't call him an asshole.
Maybe the whole reason he's at this show is because he made a movie talking about the struggle of dealing with a disease where you say involuntary things that you don't even think about. It just comes out at the worst possible moment. Maybe that's the whole point of him being here, and maybe you missed it.
The Khaleesi meme is so spot on.
I see that there's a
seen
lot
that?
of people that have replaced Amelia Clark's face with Grace.
Yes.
Randolph on that
Yeah,
meme.
exactly. It's just like, oh, that's sweet. That's Chef's kiss.
Yeah. She thought she was going to get a different reaction.
Mhm. She thought she was going to get internet back pats from all the right people, and instead, even some of those people, your Rachel Leishmans and things like that, turned on her. It's interesting to see.
Really?
Mhm.
Ooh.
Whoa. So Frank says that Challengers is not a three-way movie. It's about the two dudes really desiring one another, and that's where the movie goes to crap.
Okay, so they did subvert expectations in a way, Dylan.
Once
There you
again,
go.
There you
I
go.
stopped at Zendaya.
I was just saying what was in the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer seriously made it look like there was a movie called Threesome with Laura Flynn Boyle and one of the Baldwins and
All right.
and a guy, and that movie was looked less about a threesome than the Zendaya movie did in its trailer.
It's so funny. Aaron and I, we've talked about this before, the subversion of expectations. And, the best example of this is, of course, The Last Jedi. But just picture what Hollywood executives are generally dealing with in every situation, right? They take at least dozens of pitches. And let's say, Miss Kathleen Kennedy, she was probably taking 100 pitches for Star Wars, right? So every good writer who's read Save the Cat and Stephen King's On Writing and William Goldman's screenplay books comes in and pitches a satisfying continuation of The Force Awakens. Then, after 99 pitches that were all kind of similar because it was natural what should unfold next, in comes Rian Johnson, ready to subvert their expectations. And Kathy Kennedy and a whole bunch of people sit in a room and go, this is so surprising. We had all these people coming in pitching satisfying follow-ups to Star Wars. This isn't that. I like it.
All right, Jesse. We do not have to go on a Tom Bombadil-esque side quest on everything.
It is true.
Reading that
we got
right
more
now.
questions. We got more stuff coming up.
Cat
right?
I just read the first Tom Bombadil side quest in the book.
Yeah, it took you about fucking 4 days, right? It takes a while.
It takes
We
a
don't
while.
need to go off on tangents on everything. Daisuke,
Wow.
Mamamoto. I can name a bunch of healthy properties. The problem is none of them are Western properties. Go watch and invest in some takusatsu.
I'll take his word for it. No, I do still think that,
It sounds delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
sure.
Ooh, is that the one? With
I'll-
is that the pork chop with the sauce? I love that.
Is that
That's
does,
tonkatsu.
does it have the roe on top? But no.
No, he's pointing
I
out
think- I
properly
know.
that there are a
Yes.
lot of very healthy
They're all Asian.
franchises that are doing great worldwide, but most of them preside in the East.
Yeah.
I think that
That's all-
Japan is just the way that they're trying to protect their IP culturally, the way they're trying to protect their country, and their national identity. I think is very commendable. And I think if we had a little bit more of that gatekeeping in the United States, we would not be in the situation that we're in,
Gatekeeping. Heavens no. Eric.
where everything good has turned to crap.
No, there should be gatekeepers.
There used to be talent gatekeepers.
Yeah.
We need to bring gatekeeping back. It's like, nope, you're too stupid to be a part of this. You can be a peripheral fan, but you can't be in the fandom, and you get to dictate nothing.
Yeah.
God bless Harry Potter.
Grace
Potter-
Randolph, first one off the planet. Get out of there.
We used to just call them retards and move on.
God bless Harry
And
Potter.
nobody took them serious.
Listen, Harry Potter is the fandom of gatekeeping. It's all about keeping the Muggles out. Because if you let the Muggles into the magic world, they're going to ruin everything. It's a huge metaphor, and I love it. Harry Potter is all about gatekeeping.
I still want an American to go to Hogwarts, and he brings his 9.
You know what? Doc is so right about that, and it so stinks because it's so funny.
Johnny
Hollywood's
Cates
really
did a
gotten
book like
themselves
that.
into trouble with this Black Snape because all of a sudden it becomes all about race. Because Snape gets bullied by Harry Potter's dad, and he's like when he's black, all of a sudden it becomes all these white characters going up against this black character. It's because the whole metaphor for the movie is like they're the lower class people and they're the Muggles, but then it goes from metaphor to something else.
To X-Men.
Platform.
Yeah.
Well, he
To,
specifically talk about Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider.
Power Rangers is a good gateway drug.
I don't know, man. Like Wes said, he was watching Power Rangers with his kids the other day, and then all of a
So
sudden,
he says Power
message-
Rangers, no. Super Sentai, yes. Kamen Rider, yes. You're probably right.
Oh, gotcha.
But Super Sentai, I think, just ended up
50
finished
years.
recording their final
Yeah.
season.
So like 50 years of Red Rangers. I love that shit.
Was anybody
great.
watching the whole time?
I don't.
I mean, here
Hmm.
or in the audience?
I know when I put on here or Power Rangers for the kids, they thought it was pretty cool until the gay kissing, and it was like, never mind.
The
We're
gay
outta here.
kissing.
Wait, what? Which
Yeah.
Power Rangers were you showing them?
What Power Rangers?
No, it's
Is this the Disney Plus one?
Dino Fury, I think it was.
And there was gay
Dino
kissing.
Fury?
Yeah, Dino Fury, I think it was. It was like, whatever. I guess we're out of here. But that's what Americans or the West will do to your franchises if you let them get their hands on it.
They'll make it gay and lame.
Glitchioki, Aaron, did Silent Knights 2 come out, or is it still in development?
So Silent Knights 2, there's a preview edition coming out at MegaCon, and then it is out. 3 is underway right now, as is 4. So production has ramped up on all of that.
So is it out to available to buy on Kickstarter, or are we
Not
waiting
yet.
on that?
Not yet. Waiting on
Okay.
that. Mhm. And
It
we're
might
not
go
gonna,
to crowdfunding. It might not, though.
Yeah, it might just go direct to order because it's going to be like all future releases. It's going to be done before it's offered.
Yeah. So there you go. If you go to MegaCon, you can get a preview edition, but be expecting that in 2026 and lots more books from TCM Press. Says the editor-in-chief, Aaron Sparrow.
That's right. That's what I say.
And Calb says Jesse talks a lot. Jesse is a verbose individual.
I'm very high functioning autistic. Forgive me.
Jesse is no. So Jesse is just. It's like it's the Bill Burr meme, right? Like I get it too. Where it's like at least once a week says to me, "Why are you yelling?" And I don't think that I am. I think that I'm just really passionate about my opinions, and I've got to get them out before you can say anything.
Yeah.
Daisuke says the irony with DC, thanks to Milestone, DC has what Marvel wanted with Miles Morales, a Static Shock, but DC apparently doesn't like Milestone.
DC doesn't know how to manage Milestone.
Yeah.
Well, DC doesn't care about Milestone, just like they don't
No,
really
they
care
don't.
about Wildstorm. It's just something they acquired, just like Marvel doesn't care about
Yeah,
Malibu.
No.
Marvel
And
should
yes,
care about
he's-
Malibu. God damn it, Lord Pumpkin is money.
Dude, I can't believe they haven't done anything with Malibu after all these years. You would think somewhere along the way, someone would say, "Hey, let's do Prime."
No, that it's a legal issue.
Very complicated.
Yeah, it's like they would have to
It's
pay
a legal
royalties
and
to the
rights issue.
creators. Yeah, and Disney is not about that, as you well know.
So, no, and even going back to the early 2000s before Disney, they weren't willing to pay anybody. But regardless, no, Marvel doesn't, or DC doesn't know how to effectively manage Milestone. They look at it as there's a couple of pieces of it they kind of like, the rest of it, take it or leave it. And it's usable for them for PR purposes every few years to bring it back and then let it die.
But the problem is, Icon and Rocket. Icon is a Superman knockoff. If you go over to Hardware, that's a Batman knockoff. They've already got Superman and Batman in their universe. Static really is the only one that's like a unique character because he's a Spider-Man knockoff. Unique to the DC universe, at least. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's unique. He's unique to the Superman or to the DC universe.
Yeah.
I think that there's like Blood Syndicate's semi unique, but regardless, none of them are anything that can actually draw except for Static. But they need to keep they don't know how to add Static without adding all the rest of them or without being accused of sidelining the rest of them.
I have a suggestion that I think is probably a pretty good one for the Milestone universe. When you do one of these little relaunches that you pretend to care about, like put some talented people on it. Instead of hiring Vita Ayala, you could hire somebody who can actually write and who actually wants to write about these characters. But again, the problem is you're casting writers because you're going like, who do we have that checks these boxes? Because these characters are now check boxes in DC's mind. They're not characters anymore. So let's get some check boxes to work on these check boxes. And then everybody will say, oh, look at DC. Look at how diverse they are with their check boxes.
Yeah,
That's
we
exactly
said a lot
what I
of that
mean.
early.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
No,
this really reminds me too. I have to go out and get that box set of Static Shock, the animated show, because it is part of the Batman the animated series universe. It's part of that, and there's even great crossovers with that and Batman Beyond. I mean, and you can see where Static can really thrive in the DC universe, and it's the Timverse, and just why haven't they just gone to that?
Don't call it the Timverse. I hate that. I hate that shit.
Sorry.
Okay, first of all, it's the Diniverse because we've seen what we've seen what Bruce Timm is capable of producing without
Let him
Paul
cook.
Dini. Yeah, and it's called Harley, or it's called Batman and Ivy. You know, that's what Bruce Timm is
how about it's
capable of.
called Batman the Killing Joke? Oh my God, gag me with a spoon.
Oh, that was really bad. I just saw a clip from that the other day, and I was like, I mean, from the very beginning, when I was like, "This is the animated style that you went with." This is the you looked at Brian Boland's artwork and you said, "This is representative." That was the first mistake.
Dini's legit Detective Comics run was one of my absolute favorites. We were saying before, the fact that they haven't put a concerted effort on Static. I mean, they blew it with Wally West back in the day. Wally, whether DC knew it or not, was their Peter Parker. He was the everyman of the DC universe, and if they had realized that and positioned him that way, they'd be in a better spot, like just with a cohesive universe kind of thing. Him in that role was very important, especially with his uncle having made the ultimate sacrifice and the ultimate crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was just really like this one bit of canon that really meant something. And when they lost him to, Barry coming back and he got all overshadowed, number 2 candidate for the Spider-Man position, Static Shock. And I've seen them try to go after a Spider-Man, a couple times with DC, try to get their own thing, which is smart of them, but they already have it. And a well-executed Static Shock book could be that book.
We've got HH and the fam over at Sigma Comics. Shout out to the Think Critical team from New York City, getting ready for Emerald City Comic Con. We'll be at Artist Alley in the main show floor. Next weekend, support indies. Well, very nice. You're also going to be at Emerald City Comic Con, right, Dylan?
Yes, I'll be at Emerald
Will you
City
be
Comic
signing
Con.
autographs?
No.
Why not?
Like, I'm going to be roaming around. I'm not going to be at no booth.
No, but what if they just find you? Be like, sign my arm. Are you going to do it?
If someone wants my autograph, sure.
Oh boy, Mr. Real Comic.
You're going to go visit the
Can you sign
Sigma
my
Comics
plushie
booth,
for him?
dude?
Yeah, if I see it, I'll stop by. Hi, HH.
You should
Always
always go
nice
by
to
and
have
say, you should
HH.
seek it out. HH is delightful.
Yeah.
Casey
Plus,
is
he's
delightful.
not only a fighting fan, he's actually a professional fighter.
Well,
So he's got all kinds of great stories. And then Daisuke says, Dakota is a city in DC. The Dakota incident most likely refers to the creation of Bang Babies. That event is what gives Static his powers. Yes, that's what I understand the Dakota incident is the new explanation of how Static and some of the other Milestone heroes got their powers.
Considering the
But I didn't read it.
revelations of the days we live in, maybe Bang Babies is not the not the term we're gonna use maybe.
Real quick, I'd like to go after somebody in the comments. Sean X Topher, you ass, trying to suggest that what I was saying is in any way like some racist thing. I'm a crybaby because I was white and there was an all-black line. Listen, I'm talking about reality. Reality is, yes, when you have a predominantly white marketplace and you pitch an entire line as the black line, featuring all the black people, all the black writers, all the black things, yes, it doesn't necessarily make the other people feel invited. So I didn't read that first thing. And they have an opportunity to get it out of the shell of, oh, we keep the black people contained under this dome, to open it up to the greater universe where these characters could be interacting with any number of characters. Like I said, Static Shock should and could be their Spider-Man. So don't give me any of that fucking poor bit. I wasn't fucking crying, you asshole. You know how many comics came out at that time? And I just didn't read it. I didn't read it. I'm not a racist because I went, I don't feel like this was made for me. Like, it's such a fucking ridiculous thing when some asshole posting on the internet writes something like this and alludes to all of this hidden agenda. Like, fuck you. Ridiculous.
See, here's the correct response.
No,
I am the most racist man alive. Thank
No.
you.
Wait. So
Jesus, this is all falling apart.
to piggyback on what Jesse said, I've talked about this before. I was in a comic book store at the time, trying to sell these books. And they were a harder sell to some of my black customers than to my white customers, because they looked at that and they said, oh, it's all black creators I'm being pandered to. And they didn't want to get in on it. And I had to convince them, like, no, this is Dwayne McDuffie. He's got a great rep as a creator. It's got Dennis Cowan. I had to sell the creators to him. So it doesn't just go that one way, and you need to get out of your bubble.
But also, as podcasters and content creators, Jesse, we need to be able to,
No, I need to
Not
be
get freaked
authentic at all times. I need you and my listeners to know that anything that comes out of my mouth, I fucking believe it and I've thought about it deeply, meaningfully. So anything short change, you crying. It's so stupid too, because it's always like the liberal people accusing now the Republicans of crying. Oh, you're gonna cry, except that's never what's happening. They go, I don't like this, and they go, oh, you're gonna cry about it? That's not crying. Crying is when you're going, you're hurting my feelings. Do it the way I want you. That's crying. When I go, I don't like this. That's not crying. That's me stating a fact. I was not into it. Fucking reading into it any deeper is asinine. And we need to defend all of humanity and get out of all these petty, stupid, virtue signaling conversations on the internet where somebody's, I get you. Like, fuck you guys. The fact that I put my ass on the line to speak without having to think very hard about it because I don't want to fucking live in fear of what I might say every 2 seconds. Like, people like us have to stand for free speech, open our mouths, and freaking smack these assholes in the face who are playing these stupid games. Either come with fucking facts and talk to me about something meaningful, or get the hell out of here.
I wanted the American flag to unfurl.
We're moving on. Jag Live, the nightmare is over for you guys. I'm dropping Green Lantern after reading last issue. Not bad.
No way. Oh,
but
come
it feels
on.
like we're going Kyle Rayner for a year more.
Yeah, it's going to be a buddy comedy with Omega Bandman. Come on, it's going to be so much fun. Come on, let Jeremy Adams cook.
I get what you're saying, Jag Live, especially because we got like several issues ago, we got teased. Hal saw his name in the Book of O, and I was back on board after what had happened in Green Lantern, because Green Lantern was really good, and then it went from a Hal-centric book to being like, we're throwing everyone in here, even though we have Green Lantern Corps, which is what that's supposed to be, but we're focused on like Superboy and Kyle Rayner and a bunch of other characters. I was like, man, this isn't quite as good as it was. And then we got teased like, we're going back to Hal. We got this huge storyline. This is what we're going to do. And then the next several issues are not focused on that at all. And at the very end, the final issue of the Hal run, it's like, oh, we're going back to that Book of O thing that was teased. And it was great. I liked this last issue. I'm excited, but it's like, man, why didn't we get to that sooner? Instead, now we're going to, Hal's going to be in the backup stories. I would much prefer him at the front and focusing on his story, because I just don't give a shit about Kyle Rayner.
I like Jeremy as a writer, but it is making me question: do I want to keep reading this?
You guys
I'll
just
probably
not like,
do it.
You guys just not like Kyle, or this is you're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
I wanted the fucking Hal book. He wouldn't sideline Hal for a year to go do this big story. It was like time to get back to Hal, and now we're parking him to go on the Kyle Express.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good. And then he says, Marvel Imperial Initiative ended up failing Epic. That's true. Doc and I just recorded a video about that, didn't we, Doc?
Oh yeah. It's it is almost the definition of Jonathan Hickman and who he is at Marvel these days. He's a quitter that picks terrible
all right, don't spoil the video, Doc.
And no, none of this is new material. But yeah,
I wonder,
you
Doc,
gotta go check it out.
Do you think he's quitting, or do you think I don't know? I keep seeing this scenario where at a certain point, maybe he's just doesn't want any more red tape, and like it gets too complicated. He's like, all right, screw it.
He quits.
Yeah,
he quits. He quit X-Men. He quit Ultimate. He quit the magic stuff, and now he quit the cosmic stuff. He's a quitter.
I mean, you can say that like X-Men got away from him, that project got away from him. But again, with Imperial, what does he do? He does the same thing. He comes in, he plans this big thing, and then he brings in a bunch of inferior writers, and the event gets away from him. It's like, just stop doing that. And maybe he has no choice. Maybe when he comes in, he's like, I got this big idea. They're like, great, we'll make it this big event, and we'll saddle you with some Stephanies. And he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. and
we'll saddle
maybe
you with
is
Stephanies.
Yes, they're all the generic Stephanies. I don't know which one's which. It doesn't matter. They're all named Stephanie, and they all fucking suck. But no. I mean, maybe it is that it gets away from him, but it doesn't matter. He still quits.
Yeah.
And you should absolutely watch the video for an even expanded thing about our thoughts of that one. Gab says, Common Rider. There's an anime called Tojima wants to be a Common Rider. I heard it's the perfect nerd fantasy told well.
I could have sworn you just said Toe Jam and Earl.
No, it's
like,
Tojima. Dojima.
And that's right for a comeback, right? No pun intended.
Dojima.
I know, right?
Ojam and Earl.
Has anybody watched Tojima?
No.
I haven't even heard of it. There you go. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Very cool. Rate that 7. Milestone also had white characters and other non-black POC characters, and they also had white creators working for them. That is true.
But that wasn't the perception at the time.
No.
I don't know
That's
that-
not what the
I don't know the
marketing was saying.
perceptions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it certainly was going for a specific reinvention of a superhero universe aimed at a very specific audience.
And
They were
if you were
successful there for a
interested in
while.
reading, if you were interested in, and at the time I was interested in reading something different and seeing something from a different perspective. And you used to be able to do that, and it didn't, but I'm saying even then, like some people felt like, oh, this is pandering to me, and they didn't like it. But for me, as like going in and just loving comics and was like, oh, what's this new thing? I read Malibu when it came out because it was a new thing. I read Milestone when it came out because it was a new thing, and I found appreciation, for both of them.
Aaron just went and saw Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. Was like, I'm getting into Milestone. This is what I'm talking about.
Colors.
See, I was so intimidated by those movies when I was younger because I was more into like rock and roll music culture, so I didn't know them. I've discovered them as an adult, and have quite enjoyed a number of them.
Oh yeah, there's some great stuff. Menace to Society is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Uneven Streets. Did y'all see the Ben 10 comics by Dynamite? I did.
Unfortunately.
My kids like Ben 10. Ben 10's a really cool idea. It's going to have all the Man of Action guys back, but the art doesn't look spectacular.
The art they revealed, which is when it was announced it was going to be coming from Dynamite, you knew they weren't going to put a good artist on it. That's sad because I was big into the original Ben 10 show. I really loved that, and so I was excited when they announced the comic for it and they bring back the guys, but the art just.
And that's the disappointing part because there were artists in Man of Action. There was a handful of them.
Dynamite's not
Wasn't
gonna
that
pay
Duncan
them.
Rouleau,
Isn't it Matsuda?
Duncan Rouleau, Ed McGuinness, and one other one was part of Man of Action.
I
Yeah,
like
Dynamite
it.
Dynamite ain't paying for any of that.
No, they should have got.
Karen Grant.
They should have went and got the girl or the lady that's illustrating that TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures book and had her do it. She knows how to do comics that look like cartoons. What they got now is weird.
You probably could have got Silvani.
Probably could have got Silvani.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably check it out because Ben 10's pretty cool. But apparently Dylan is so into Ben 10 that if it's not aesthetically correct, that's it.
Dylan's
Art
right.
looks
Give me the
bad.
thing that I want the way that I want it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've made it through some terrible
I'm on
comic
your
books
side,
that have
Dylan.
been written by wonderful people, and Joe Kelly and Steve Siegel are very talented.
Oh, they are. Callum, if they did do Static Shock, it'd just be about I'm black, y'all, I'm black. Then a crossover with Durag Man fighting the Krager. So Durag Man, I believe, is a Disney property. So I don't think we would get a Static Shock Durag Man crossover. And I think it's actually Captain Durag.
Oh.
Um,
Well, it could be in Superman.
Maybe.
Superman, Spider-Man.
I
Maybe.
wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do Captain Durag and Doomface. Come on, what are you
No,
doing?
no, of course not.
That's a serious thing. You meant but they
Disney's
meant
getting
that as a
eviscerated
serious-
right now over
They
that.
meant that as a serious thing. Or like this will be really well received. And it's like, well, are you sure?
Yeah, that was a bit of a backfire. But they do have a Static Shock Beyond right now where he's with Batman Beyond, I think.
Wait, can I
Yeah.
ask about the Captain Durag thing? I feel like I saw a meme, and I
I
thought
thought
it was a
meme
joke.
too. It turned out it was real.
It's real. What is it from?
It's
And
from a Disney
Captain
show.
Some
Durag
Disney
of
thing.
all names?
Some Disney thing. I have
It's
no
Disney?
fucking clue. I don't want to know because it's funnier to just not know and be like, you know what? They made this shit and they actually made it serious. I don't need to know. I don't need an explanation. It is so fucking absurd. And they did actually make it in a serious attempt.
Yeah, I thought it was like a
don't know
meme or
what-
something. I didn't
doesn't
realize
matter.
it was real.
Found for when they
Oh,
placed
come
it
on.
on his head.
And nobody, come on, nobody cared about Frozone and The Incredibles. I mean,
Frozone was
care.
fucking
He's a
badass. What are
great
you talking
character.
about?
Frozone
He's
was
a great
cool.
character. But
The
I mean,
best part of
as
that
names
bad
go,
sequel also.
You know,
Yes, that sequel
hey,
sucked ass.
Lucius, so
Frozone
nice
was
to
great.
see you.
Yeah, when he
know,
shows
Ron-
up and starts snowing to save the kids, that was great.
long before this was the norm, like when I was working on The Incredibles, Sam Jackson had come in and brought a concept to Boom, and they put out a really mediocre comic called Cold Space based on his idea, because he could pitch it as a movie, because that was Boom's whole business model: get people get like slush scripts and put them out as comics, and try and use them as cheap storyboards to get Ross Ritchie a movie deal. But long before any of this, this is after Milestone, of course, but so Sam Jackson, and then I've got Nate Watson, really great artist working on Toy Story, black artist. I've got Andrew Dahlhaus on colors. I got Darren Bennett on letters. I was like, what if we got Sam Jackson to write like a Frozone book, and Nate could draw it, and Andrew could color it, and DJ could letter it, and it would be like a nice little, just a nice, good creative team of people who've like risen to the top of their field, but they all just happen to be black working on the character from Incredibles. I thought it'd be fun, but Boom didn't see it that way.
Wraith X7, Milestone, like Wildstorm, are filled with archetype characters and should remain in their own separate universes and should not be part of the DCU. I agree 100%.
Me too. Yes, exactly. I mean, because the DCU is a really crowded place to begin with, and then like when you enter,
they will always be sidelined in second, third best to the original real DCU characters.
I mean, give me my Wildstorm universe and just divorce from DC. I mean, yeah.
Well, they tried to give you a Wildstorm universe from Warren Ellis, but the Me Tooers screw that up.
Yeah, thank you, Me Tooers.
I just think that they have a lot of characters that like fill gaps. And I mean, I know Static Shock isn't, he's not exactly Spider-Man, but he's a younger character with a younger sensibility and a sense of humor. And that's, just sort of a simple archetype sort of thing. Hardware is very Iron Man-like. Icon ends up being sort of another Superman kind of rip, but I do think that there are places that they could put them within the context of the universe, and I only even push in that direction just because that's clearly the direction they want to go in. It's essentially like we've got a bunch of diverse characters here. We should utilize them, and I think, yeah, you should, but like utilize them more fully. Somebody in the comics was saying something about it being a licensing issue, and there are licensing issues like that all over the place. I mean, even with somebody like Hitman and Garth Ennis and, to use any of these things. So, I mean, they're constantly playing with the licensing thing. I don't think that's the only reason why they got to put it in its own Milestone universe thing. But I do agree the best way to approach these things, just like the Authority, I'm not really interested in the Authority being in the DC universe. I'd rather it be its own thing like it was. So, of course, I think that's always the best way to go.
The Milestone characters worked in Young Justice. I mean, they figured out a way to incorporate them in a good way there. So, I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, I think so.
Icon was in Young Justice?
Yeah. Remember, I wrote Rocket. Remember,
Yeah.
like she was the lead of the team of my episode. That I did,
Icon was
on
in
the arc that I worked on.
And Icon was in Justice League Unlimited too, in the background. But I don't think he had a speaking role. But
yeah, I don't think they utilized him, but he showed up.
yeah,
Icon's hundreds of years old. How could he be in Young Justice?
Because there was older characters in Young Justice too. How is Shawn Michaels the Heartbreak Kid? How is Ric Flair still called the Nature Boy?
How is Sidney Crosby still Sid the Kid? He's 38.
he's 38.
So we already started talking earlier about Paramount buying Warner Brothers Discovery. Still has to go through all the approval process and everything, but assuming that it does happen, it'll be probably good for the movies and things of that nature moving forward. Spare, but we are a comic book channel here. DC Comics has been drug along these acquisitions for like the last decade, first starting out with AT&T and then Warner Brothers Discovery and then into Netflix, and then that one didn't happen, and now into Paramount. Is this a good thing for DC Comics? Do you think this will add some juice to the publisher, or are they going to continue to be an afterthought?
I mean, if they even survive, I think that they have a way better chance of surviving with Paramount than they did with Netflix. I think with Netflix, there was probably a pretty good chance that they were either just going to be shut down outright, or that their publishing would just be like handed off to another company, the way that licensed out, the way that Disney does their stuff. I think this is the best case scenario of worst case scenarios. I think that they were far worse off with Netflix. I think that there was no way Ted Sarandos was going to stick to theatrical windows. So for the movie business, I think this is better. I still don't think it's good. I think the consolidation of all of these, IP houses and all of these corporations is ultimately a bad thing. But still better than going to Netflix. As far as the comics, I don't know. I don't know where this leads. I don't know that they want to be in the comic publishing business. Maybe Paramount, Skydance is big enough that they'll allow these little fiefdoms to continue because as long as you're making money and bringing some money in, that's probably good for us. So hopefully they stick with it. But also, I would not mind a major shakeup either. DC's doing much better than Marvel. Marvel needs a shakeup far more than DC does. But I still wouldn't mind seeing some offices cleared out and some new people put in place. Maybe some people that are hungry and who actually know what they're doing and want to be there, as opposed to the people that seem to be in comics now, which is a lot of people that are just running out the clock on their pensions, if they have them.
I think you do have that. The only problem is, I think the shakeup's going to come at DC, where they're currently in a good position. Yeah. And doing things the correct way, and you're going to end up with some executive trying to change it because they think that they can make more money, and end up fucking it up by making them just the carbon copy of Marvel again. The way that they were trying to do their storytelling, their talent acquisition, their marketing, their everything. They were just copying Marvel's homework for a good number of years there. And every time they get going kind of in the right direction, they turn around, shoot themselves square in the dick by being like, okay, and what can get us over the hump? Let's copy Marvel now. And then
even though Marvel hasn't been
5 steps.
Even though Marvel hasn't been doing well, we never look at Marvel when they're doing well and say, let's copy that. We look at when Marvel has failed at something and we say, I'll bet we could fail even harder with that.
Yeah, like they do it because Marvel's just a step ahead of them. Like they caught up almost to Marvel's tail. And then they're like, all right, I know what could get us over the hump. Copying the shit that made us them lose ground to us. Okay, I guess
it's funny. What's going on right now? I don't know if it's been framed this way, but for me, it really seems like what DC is doing right is a attempt to compete with anime through the absolute Batman line. It's just a much more freely over the top. We're accepting a man can fly and whatever other proclivities that we're going to give to these people. Just for the sake of it looks cool, it feels cool, this is fun, which is often, anime, like crazy things will be going on in some of these stories, but it looks cool, it feels cool, and, you run with it. And that's interesting to me because that's like the first time I've ever really seen DC do anything particularly innovative. Theoretically, they could keep this going for a long time, just a more sensational version of their universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the big dumb version.
Yeah. It really is. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that forever. You could do smart things with a big dumb version.
Yeah, like you can get people to actually like your characters by just appealing with the rule of cool, which is kind of what the ultimate or the absolute universe is. It's just DC Comics, but apply the rule of cool to it. And that's fine. Yeah, except for Superman. And that's maybe sort of. That's
they tried, but they didn't know what cool was in the case of Superman.
Yeah, that's apply the rule of 2004 emo boy.
Yeah.
So no, they could do it. I don't know if it has infinite legs. I mean, it definitely has an expiration date. I don't know what it is, but you can get enough people in to liking your characters to then move them over to the main DCU. The way that the Ultimate Universe did that same thing in 2001 for because it did get in new readers and convert non-readers into readers that they then transferred over to the 616 books. Those people did go over and start reading the 616 books. That's why you had that mid 2000s kind of and late 2000s real kind of skyrocket of Marvel. You had the old stuff, the old readers and the new readers, even though the Ultimate Universe was effectively dead by then. So it can work, and you could do the exact same thing with the Absolute Universe. Yeah. But we need a, however this whole corporate change and shuffling settles out, we just need somebody to not fuck with DC right now. Just let it go.
So somebody said that the Absolute Universe is just a copy of the Ultimate Universe, and it might look like that at a glance because DC has done many like things that were really meant to be kind of copies of Ultimate Universe, like the New 52 was. But really, the Ultimate Universe was a streamlining of the story, getting rid of all the continuity. Like that was the thought process going into it at the time in all the interviews. We want to make it easy for new readers to just get into a new character, a young Spider-Man. He doesn't have any history. Same thing with all these other guys. And I do think with Absolute Batman and these other ones, the goal seems to be to take it to 11, to just really bring it over the top, to Cosmic Ghost Rider all their characters and make them just kind of kitsch and fun, it's different than what the Ultimates was trying to do, even though they did do some over the top things over time, but different.
No, Mark told me that the purpose of the Ultimate Universe was to bring in the best versions of all their heroes into one universe and tell stories with them.
Well, then explain Ultimate X-Men then.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You're going to have to take that up with Mr. Miller. I'm just telling you what he told me about the Ultimates when they created the Ultimate Universe.
I absolutely understand, and I like Mark's work a lot, but I was not a fan of that period.
I mean, I loved Ultimate Spider-Man in at least the first arc or two of the Ultimates, but yeah, X-Men and Fantastic Four of the Ultimate were, it was so weird, the Ultimate Universe, because like there was 2 books that were really great, and then there were 2 books that were like, what are they thinking here?
Oh my God, the Absolute Universe is copying the Ultimate Universe, at least.
Oh, okay. Well, if you break it down like that,
books that are
this iteration of
that are
the
good,
Ultimate
and then
Universe,
books that are like, what is happening here?
Okay, I could see that. Well, this iteration of the Ultimate Universe, the Hickman one, where Maker goes back and changes the inciting incident of all the heroes. That's kind of what happens in the Absolute Universe. Is this Earth Omega or is this Earth Alpha? Well, I used to know all of my multiverse Earth. Someone help me out. But you've changed all the inciting incidents of your Trinity and of Green Lantern now, and Flash and all down the line. And that's I can see it. It's like the 2 volcano movies. It's like the 2 asteroid movies. It's like they're onto each other. They know what each other's doing. DC knows what.
But the only one can win, dude.
This is true.
You had to get. Did you want Deep Impact or Armageddon? I would say the Ultimate Universe 2.0 is Deep Impact, and Armageddon is Absolute Universe.
Yeah.
And everybody went with Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more fun movie.
It's more fun. I love that.
Are you worried, Dylan, or do you think this is not only good for movies, it's good for the comic books too?
No. Like I said way earlier, I think the best outcome is that this falls through and Warner Brothers just keeps independent from these from Netflix or from Paramount. But I do think Paramount's better than Netflix, and I don't know what they're going to do with the comics. I agree with what Aaron was saying, though. I think it's more likely that Paramount won't continue to let DC doing what they're doing compared to Netflix, but I have no idea what they're going to do.
Is that with messaging and cultural impact?
I don't know. It would be ironic if after all this time DC finally got on the right track and then Paramount came in and just messed everything up. It's like, we got to change everything. Now that you finally are doing well, here we go. Now let's just derail everything.
Because Heidi McDonald thinks DC Comics are going to go for like full MAGA or something. It was a pretty weird article.
Well, first of all,
there's a lot of
the beginning of your statement. You said Heidi McDonald thinks, and I disagree with that completely.
I see Twitter weird. Everywhere is acting like Paramount is some big MAGA company, and I'm very confused because like they are the ones that gave those guys to make South Park like the newest season, which is all the most anti-MAGA thing possible, and they didn't mess with any of that. Like, they gave them carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. It's like
Starfleet Academy.
They're still putting out Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, it's like this is the company that you think is a MAGA. I'm so confused. I don't know where that comes from.
But wait a second, too. Like when Disney bought Marvel, there was at least like a 5-year period where just nothing was really affected. And it takes especially in publishing, I don't think this is going to affect anything for a long time. The most immediate thing it's going to affect is the DC universe. And it's funny because I have a question like for the whole panel. You saw all these articles and whatnot talking about, oh shit, if the Netflix thing goes down, Gunn is out. And then as soon as the Netflix deal got killed, I immediately still saw people going, Gunn's days are numbered. So was it a situation where because of the upheaval, Gunn's days are numbered and Gunn's job's in question and we're going to get clickbait on that no matter what? Or do we really think he's going to go? I mean, granted, he's got Supergirl and Clayface next, which is not like the best 1-2 punch to demonstrate how good this universe is. Apparently, just as much money was spent on Supergirl as Superman. So I'm just curious. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a chance he might?
I don't think Superman's based enough for fucking Paramount, dude. We're gonna get base Superman because of this. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna get base fucking Batman. I have no idea. I assume that Gunn does not get to keep going on. He's only got like a 5-year contract. It's almost up. He'll get to put out his Supergirl movie. He'll get to put out the following probably Superman sequel, and that'll be the end of the road.
That Supergirl movie is going to face plant so hard.
Yeah, and then you guys are going to sit there and give me shit about how it's so much better than Fantastic Four for, I don't know.
Well, it probably will be better than Fantastic Four. That's a pretty easy bar to clear.
Yeah.
But,
No.
I have a couple people around me who feel like Supergirl could succeed, but I just feel like I think it will succeed, but not as much as Superman succeeded, and basically because of how much money
The
they're
numbers
spending
state
on
that
them.
Superman might have broken even.
Well, but still, if you're dealing with Superman and we might have broken even,
That's what I'm
Supergirl,
saying.
I'm feeling like we gotta be losing a little bit here, just even a little bit. And like I would still consider that a success, but at the same time, they're not going to consider it a success because they lost money.
Yeah.
I was talking to Drew, and he was like thinking that Supergirl's going to do really well because of Lobo, and I was like, normies don't know or care who Lobo.
That's
is.
a Drew. Drew's weird like that. He's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this fucking comic book that no one's heard of or thought about since 1984 is really big right now. It's like, dude, nobody's thought about that but you. He likes real. Not that Lobo's obscure, but he does get
but
hyped up for stuff that most people would.
And maybe people. I mean, I would say that like Jason Momoa is probably more of a draw. To
Yeah, I
normies
think that's
than
more the draw.
Lobo is. It's like, oh look, he's not Aquaman. He's doing this thing. Like there might be a slight curiosity factor with that, but it's not going to be enough to push that movie into the black.
Well,
Should
hopefully
just made a
catches
fucking
on.
Lobo movie.
Yes, the main man. I mean, that's it.
He's one of
It's
my
all
favorites,
about-
man. I would like an adaptation of The Last Zarnian and then follow it up with Lobo's Back, please. Then we could do the paramilitary special, and then we can do LoboCop.
See, now, if you told me that James Gunn was directing a special for Max that was the Lobo paramilitary Christmas special, I'd be like, that fits. That's a good choice for him.
Yes.
Yeah. But he did not fit Superman. That's probably why the movie wasn't as good as it could have been.
But still better than Fantastic Four.
That's debatable.
Is it? Is it though?
I think it probably is. I guarantee you there's no way that Jesse Blaze Snyder thinks that lame mid fucking Superman movie is better than Fantastic Four, whose only fault is bad
The
casting.
guy that couldn't sit through a Fincher movie yet watch Fantastic Four 10 times is telling you about cinema. That's
seen it
all.
once.
That's all you
Wait a
need to know
second.
right now.
Wait a second.
That's all you need to know.
The argument is which is better, Superman or Fantastic Four?
Which was the
recent
better
one.
superhero movie that year? Yeah, which was more enjoyable?
See?
Oh,
That's the thing.
they both fail to scratch my itch in similar ways. Like I love Superman. It was just too lighthearted for me. Hawkgirl dropping a guy to his death, towards the end of the movie arbitrarily, things like that. The whole movie just feels very flip. And then the Fantastic Four movie, which is more grounded and fun, but
Mhm.
like, how is it that we have
better
I don't think-
production
I don't
value
think-
too.
I don't
It
think
looks
it's. I don't think it's more fun.
Like,
no, well, that's
yeah,
the
it's
thing.
not
It's
more
not
fun.
that fun. But how do we have a blueprint for it in The Incredibles, and it's not as good as The Incredibles? Like, so for me, it just they both are
That's
failures.
incredible. One of the best fucking fucking animated movies of all
No,
time.
Incredibles is amazing. I'm saying
We're
the
not
Incredibles.
comparing it to Incredibles. We're comparing it to Superman. Man.
Excuse me, Wes. The Incredibles is the Fantastic Four. They took everything that was great about the Fantastic
Really?
Four over
Which one's
time
Johnny
and
Storm?
distilled it. No, it's not about the characters. It's
not
about
a
the
one-to-one.
vibe. And they were only half able to create the atmosphere that is created in the Incredibles. The Fantastic Four has always had an atmosphere about it. You know, Jonathan Hickman's run of the Fantastic Four was fun because he really nailed that atmosphere of discovery and whatnot. And as a Fantastic Four and Superman fan, I've been reading those books forever. Neither one of them really satisfied me.
But the superior movie was Fantastic Four, which was only held back by its terrible casting.
And it's
Your man was so much better.
and it's complete vision of what making Galactus.
Like, there's no way that fucking Jesse's going to be sitting there rooting on a Superman that's beating up a retarded coded version of himself.
No,
That's
certainly I
saving.
didn't like that. I didn't
I
like
was
that.
I was fine with it. First of all,
But I like
You guys
Crypto the
can't
Super
read a
Dog.
Bizarro
Everybody liked
comic.
the dog.
And Mr. Terrific looked pretty cool. He's a little skinny, but
Wasn't he great? Mr. Terrific was the best part of the movie. That's
Mr.
weird.
Terrific's my favorite character at DC, like hands down. I love
You
Mr.
are
Terrific.
strange.
I am
Don't
strange.
read-
In the
you-
JSA comics, he was really just well handled. And if you want a really good run of comics to read Jeff Johns, David S. Goyer's, and James Robinson's lengthy JSA run. You know, it goes on, and he's one of the main dudes there. And right from the beginning, I just really liked him. You know, he was a smart guy, and he was an athlete. He was somebody who cared about his body, cared about his mind, cared about his soul. And his wife had died, and he dedicated himself to making a difference in the world. And I just thought that was simple. He was just this overachieving guy who was going to do something good with his life,
The
and
hell of a
that
jacket.
was cool. Yeah,
Don't
well,
read,
the
don't read
costume
Tom King's.
best.
Don't read Tom King's take on the character. Then
Oh no, I don't want to. But he was so great in JSA, and the mask and the
His
jacket.
costume is not the best.
His costume is the best. It is literally the best. When they knew
Nightwing's
52
costume is way
and gave
better.
him all those stupid tattoos. I love the Mr. Terrific costume. You don't like it? Oh God, I love it.
It's good, but it's not Nightwing.
Oh well, Nightwing's really cool because of how simple it is. His
Yeah,
is more
got good color
complex.
scheme.
It's a very complex but nice costume. I like Mr. Terrific's costume so much. I'm so glad that they did it justice. Like in the movie, he looks.
I think
legit.
it elevated
He was
him. I was
legit,
like, this
yeah.
guy is so much cooler than the comic book version.
What? Oh, you were just not reading into those JSA books well enough because I saw it. I love him.
Anything else to say about this big deal? Nope. Let's hear it for the people. Scalp says, I'm just going to laugh at the rainbow people not getting their gay cartoon ships and people cough James Gunn. I hope losing their job like Tom King.
I love it.
that tickles.
This is the same company that's putting out Starfleet Academy. What makes you think you're not going to get that?
Yeah, you're gonna. It's still gonna stay so fucking gay.
Yeah. I don't think there's a big swing here, ideologically, personally.
No, but I do like. I do agree. Like the overreaction is enjoyable. You know, like
It is, yeah.
watching Blue Sky think the sky is falling.
The Heidi McDonald article was amazing. She even talks about Harry Potter and says, what did she call it? Controversial but lucrative. I was like, nobody cares. Nobody thinks Harry Potter's controversial, but you.
No,
It's
you
Harry
and your
Potter.
you and your little bubble. Nobody cares. If there's anything that the Hogwarts game proved, it's that there is no trans lobby that has any kind of like financial power.
Nobody
You know,
cares.
there's nobody cares about that. It doesn't reflect on Harry Potter to the people that love Harry Potter. It really doesn't. It's a non-controversy.
Nobody cares.
But let me see. I got to find the line. It was good. I found the article here. She says, loathed but lucrative is what she called Harry Potter.
Loathe the butt.
You loathe.
Yes.
Oh, get
The
That makes
thing
sense.
that
Outta here.
everyone hates.
They
Makes
hate
a
it because
lot
they
of money.
weren't able to cancel it. They
Mhm.
loathe it. It is loathed by them. They loathe the people who are too powerful for them to have an effect upon.
This is the way that she put it in her article. Shock, grief, and anger spread as the news got out yesterday. Ellison's purchase of Paramount and CBS News has already resulted in massive layoffs and cultural shifts. So apparently,
And now
Shock
that you've
taker,
read, an excerpt from Heidi McDonald on Aficionados, everybody in the chat is now dumber for having listened to it. But
you know, it's just what a weird reaction.
You did give it more exposure. Like that is the most seen thing
Way to
Heidi
go,
has done
Wes.
in years now.
It wasn't positive exposure.
Well, you know, there's no bad publicity, right, Wes? Just ask Grace Randolph. She's doing great this week.
Gallup says, is Legendary Studios co-owned by Warner Brothers? Because they do Godzilla and Kong, and I don't want Netflix to touch them or even Dune. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think China owns Legendary.
Yeah, but I think they're partners with
Yes.
Warner Brothers
Mhm.
in the U.S. market. So,
Hey, what do you have to say, Wes, about that mustache in Fantastic Four? You know, the casting
bad.
didn't bother me as the
I
casting,
said the
of
casting was awful.
Just, but I mean, in
The
particular,
casting came with the mustache.
no,
Mustache
how
came
did
with
it come with the mustache? How could we not have shaven that off? He could have grown that back in 3 weeks.
I don't know.
it
this
is kind of a
Pedro
pedo
Pascal.
stash, so it doesn't take very long.
Years and years of Fantastic Four comics, never a mustache. Mustache.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he can't
it
grow.
is
He
bad.
can't grow a full beard. You know, he can't connect it. So.
But I would
At
not expect Netflix.
Wait a second. Wait, can I just take a moment to laugh at that? Because that's pretty funny. The meeting is like, so Pedro, we need you to grow a full beard. And 6 months later, he comes back, just a mustache. Well, this is all I could do.
So Legendary Entertainment are their own Burbank-based media studio. They were bought by a Chinese company. They have historically partnered with Warner Brothers and Universal and are now collaborating with major distributors like Paramount and Netflix. So Universal obviously owns the IP of the MonsterVerse here in the U.S. So you might see them on Netflix. But I wouldn't expect Netflix to be doing anything original with them. Why does anyone care about Dune? Those Dune movies suck.
Because I will go, and I don't like either of them, mostly because I can watch them in 40 minutes if I just go back and watch the Sci-Fi Channel 3-episode miniseries from 25 years ago, because they're the exact same fucking movie.
Okay.
I like them. Jeez, I'm a huge Dune fan.
Yeah, I liked them just fine.
I love the books. I think they just, any attempt at making Dune on the big screen is good with me.
Timothy Chalamet is the next Dane DeHaan.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
Zendaya's-
already so much more.
sucks.
Come on, he was already so much more successful than Dane DeHaan.
He's way more successful, and Timothy Chalamet is not the problem with anything he's in. He's good.
Oscar Isaac was amazing in that first movie.
Zendaya sucks.
I-
Chalamet sucks.
I will-
Batista, I mean, how are they going to keep Batista in it? He's all fucking skinny and twinky now.
Well, he's dead in in Dune
Oh, yeah, I
2.
forgot
He
he
died in
died.
Dune 2. Josh
Yeah.
Brolin killed him.
It's really funny. Everybody keeps fan casting him in all those AI things. You constantly see Batista, and he always shows up like he was in an Incredibles fan cast as Mr. Incredible. And I was like, well, that was what he looks like, but he doesn't look like that anymore.
No, he needs skinny jeans and a salmon button up.
Yeah, disappointed.
String
That
string
was
of pearls.
100 pounds of
Some
muscle.
glitter around the eyes.
He just goes on another cycle, and he'll be fine. It doesn't matter.
He's in his 50s now.
Does not matter.
No,
Even the Rock had to de-juice.
Jag Live says Batman 163 got delayed again until May 26th. It'll come out eventually.
One of these days.
What,
That was
didn't,
one
we,
of these
didn't, we,
days.
didn't we say that, Wes, whenever you and I first talked about the first 2-week delay? I'm like, oh, well, we're fucked.
It might
This
come
book
out in
is-
2026, 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. But Hattush sucks, so whatever.
Remember when we joked that like Winds of Winter had a shot at coming out before this Batman Hush 2 completed?
Mhm.
And it was we were like, that's a really funny joke.
It sounds like George R.R. Martin's getting more serious about finishing the books now.
Oh yeah, that's
I
nice.
think the only reason he's getting serious about it is because he already has outlines and wants to do more Dunk and Egg stuff, but he put a thing on himself where he's like, I won't do it until I have Winds of Winter done. So I legitimately think that's his like motivation. It's like he really wants to write more Dunk and Egg stories, but he can't until he finishes Winds of Winter.
You know, I got a theory, and he's been done for years, and just publishing has been so woke, especially since Me Too. There's so much victimization of women in his books that what publisher is going to greenlight this? You know what I mean?
Anyone would. It would make so much money. The woke goes out the window when they would make this much money. That is a stupid theory. It would make so much money. Now, it's not a bad theory that he is waiting for it until he dies, mainly because of potential backlash to how stories end, because people could be very upset. I could see that. But as far as like it's woke, no, I don't think publishers like we don't want to put this out because we're too woke. I don't think so, because
they put out the girl with the dragon tattoo and all those books, and all those girls get victimized.
Me Too kind of derailed
over
Westworld.
Yeah, well, but
derailed Game of Thrones, the show, and
hold on.
Come on.
The girl with the dragon tattoo, the only reason that got released is because the author was a commie. And because all the money from it went to the World Workers' Party.
Well, I don't know about any of that stuff, but it was a best-selling book in multiple languages.
The only reason that the crazy leftists in publishing let it happen is because they knew that the revenue was going to their fucking dirty commie party.
Yeah. He might be right about that, but there is a natural inclination to not put women and minorities through the same paces that you put your male characters through. And it's actually a huge mistake. For anybody out there who's an aspiring writer.
It's not a natural proclivity. It never didn't happen until like 15 years ago.
Well, no, that's not true. Honestly, if you go back and you look at film throughout time, we always go easier on the women. It's a woman. We wouldn't do, and children, we don't put them on camera in harm the same way that we will do for the men. We'll cut away. But men, we had freaking, what's his name, sitting on a table being raped on The Boys last season because no big deal to watch a man be uncomfortable in that way and suffer in that way. You would never depict a female in that direction. And it's actually a huge...
What was that Jodie Foster movie? They did it in that.
Well, I'm saying in general. I'm not looking for the exceptions, guys. But the truth is,
I agree with Wes here. Where I think this is more of a recent thing. I don't think this is a always thing.
I think it has gotten
typically
worse
women
recently.
were put in terrible positions to motivate the male protagonist in classic storytelling.
Yes, the women in refrigerators. Yes, women in refrigerators, but usually speaking, we would cut away. They were just a thing that happened at the beginning, and then that was to launch the hero into the story. When you started to get women as the lead characters, you don't have them walk through glass like John McClane because it's a woman. And
Sigourney Weaver went through some stuff in Alien.
No, she did. But there is a proclivity to ratchet it up with
Sarah
the men.
Connor went through a good bit. Terminator.
You're talking about the two good ones that we talk about.
I have a question.
But no, I mean, you look at a movie like Atomic
Gina
Blonde,
Davis.
They put her through the ringer. Gina
But
Davis.
you're talking about fucking Die Hard.
Exception. I am, but I'm
you
saying.
You didn't bring up some like small, like here's all these examples.
I'm saying that Die Hard is very consistent. You know, they will really injure the male protagonist. And it's a disservice to the female protagonist when they take Rey and they don't make her suffer more, because the more she struggles, the more the audience will go with
what me and Wes were just saying, which is a modern thing. This is more of a modern thing. I agree with you. This is happening, but it's more of a modern thing. It's not something that was happening way back in the day.
And I think in the past,
they blew up her entire planet in front of her.
I think in the past, I think in the past it happened
Princess
less,
Leia.
not because we shied away from. I don't think it happened in the past less because we shied away from it. I think it happened less in the past because you didn't put women in those sorts of roles. Because we recognized back in the day, it didn't make sense for a 100-pound woman to be beating up 300-pound men. Yeah, and that's gone away as well. So I think it is more of a modern thing. I see where you're coming from, but I think that I agree.
No, I know what you're saying, and I think you're right, because it's just there wasn't so many women in these protagonist roles. But I think if you go and compare Red Sonja to Conan, you know, you might go, well, Conan went through a harder story here, and he had a harder things to do than Red Sonja did.
Wes, you're
I
the
just wanna know.
Conan / Red Sonja expert. What
I
do you think?
remember the movie a little bit because Arnold's in it, and Bridget Nielsen ends up being like the main thing. I don't know.
A lot of it
pretty
is a lack of
badass.
a desire to cover up the female in wounds or blood, and there's a lot of things that go into it. But really, when it
Yeah,
comes
it's
to
traumatizing.
story, putting your heroes through difficulty is the main thing that gets your audience and get engaged.
I mean, we did just have Furiosa also, where she goes through a lot in both those movies. Like she goes through hell.
I like the Furiosa movie.
I went
Yeah.
through a lot trying to get through that second Furiosa movie. Man,
You didn't
You
like
like
the second
Furiosa?
one?
I like that movie.
Oh, no,
I like
it's
it.
We
not
watched
as
it,
good as
but
Fury
only-
Road, but it's good.
only when Chris Hemsworth was on screen. That was the only time that Marie and
He's
I were
good.
interested.
I liked it.
Bad. He had a weird name too.
Dementus.
Yes, good one.
Doesn't take much to please Aaron Sparrow.
It does though.
Give
Takes
me a
quite
good
bit.
He-Man name and I'm in.
Oh, that's true.
Could I
But
name
you
one of
go
He-Man's
watch the
villains
Clan
list?
of the Care Bear, the Cave Bear. I almost said Care Bear. The Cave Bear movie with Daryl Hannah. She goes through some shit.
Now I want to watch
It's like an 80s movie.
Clan of the Care Bear.
I am
Care
not
Bears
saying
sounds
that
good,
there are
doesn't
not
it?
examples that demonstrate the thing done right. I'm saying that in general, I find that most of the mainstream things, they just tend not to put their heroines through the paces that they should to endear the audience to wanting.
You
the
need to go
outcome.
watch The Long Kiss Goodnight, dude.
Dude, I
Well, that's
own
the
the Long Kiss
97 movie,
Goodnight.
right?
I love the Long Kiss Goodnight, but again, I find it to be an exception to the rule as opposed to the rule. Cutthroat
I
Island,
think
Gina Davis
Ray
doesn't
is
go
the
through so
exception
much
to the
crazy
rule
stuff.
that people have turned their back on. They're like, this isn't real heroism. To where she frees herself, grabs a lightsaber out of nowhere, and butterflies a fucking Sith in 5 minutes. It was
What
pretty
about
terrible.
that?
It was awful.
Oh
I think
yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about, but I think that's modern.
Well, no, and I think you're right, and it's a silly little point because it's a marginal thing that I do think has to do with we don't want to cut her. She has nice boobs. She has a nice arm. We want that arm on camera.
No, I
looking
think
nice.
it's we don't want to cut her because she's the star, and if we put our female hero through anything like that, it's like putting all women through trauma.
Yes,
And we just
that's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
can't
you
victimize
finally
modern.
admitted to exactly what I've been saying this entire time. That's
And
exactly
it's a
what I'm
modern
saying.
thing.
I don't
Modern
think
thing.
it is
No,
modern. I
I
think
don't-
that has existed for all time. She's a woman. We don't want to put a woman through this experience. And how does
How
Marv
about the
look?
mom in Cujo? She got pretty fucking terrorized.
Think about this. Marv in Sin City when he's like fucking. We like find that man more attractive because now he's all banged up and covered in blood. Like we will literally make Wolverine look like he's bones and gut. We very rarely will go all the way with that with the women in the same way. And there's a lot of factors, but it does do a disservice to their characters when they're in these stories.
I'm
Let's
kind
do
of coming
this.
around to.
It's a
I'm kinda
fucking
coming
question. I don't know how we got here. Damn it! I said no more Tom Bombadil side quest.
Yeah, you
I
don't
didn't
get
mean to. I don't know what
you don't
happened.
Get you don't get to control the conversation, Wes. It goes where it goes.
I thought this was a rodeo.
No,
It's cat wrangling. I love it.
Luke,
Cat
Cool
rodeo.
Ludwig Art. Sorry if I meant pronounced your name wrong. Issue number 2 of my comic Encrypted is now for pre-order. Well, that's really awesome. What's the
Rad.
platform? Is it going on crowdfunding? Do you got your own e-commerce site?
This
Yeah,
is
what
a
is it?
smart way to
Dude.
promote.
Tell me about it.
$2 free promotion on Thinking Critical.
Well,
It's $2.
No, $2 promotion.
I mean,
Not
$2
promotion.
Not that bad.
Okay, I'm
Pocket
looking
change promotion.
I'm
And
looking on
congratulations,
Kickstarter.
Luke. That's awesome, dude. I know it's a
That
lot
is
of hard work
dope.
to put out a comic.
Congratulate. And I hope it is very successful for you. If you send us the information on where it is able to be ordered, we will try to share that with all of the watchers.
Calb says Superman versus Fantastic Four is getting old and boring. Yeah, we put that thing away 35 minutes ago. We've been arguing about heroines.
No,
He's like,
I think they
he's like,
mean
I
the fact
sent I
that
sent my
every
message.
fucking week, every single fucking week, we end up talking about it again.
Yeah. We
Well,
get
we
a
have
new
a new
bit.
guest here.
It was
he agreed
K-pop
with me,
Demon
by the way.
Hunters. That was the ongoing bit for a while, and then we switched to Fantastic Four vs Superman. That's the current ongoing bit.
Yep. What will our next bit be? Tune in to find out.
Yo, there's a hysterical comment in the comments that says Steven Seagal films are the current inspiration for female action heroes. I think that's exactly
No.
it.
I don't think that's
Steven
fair.
Seagal's entire family is
fat-
murdered. What are you talking
Fat
about?
Stevens.
No,
Fat
but
Steven
like-
Seagal
but like, he's
literally just
always
standing
fine.
there.
He
No,
very
Fat Steven
rarely is
Se-
injured. Sorry, Doc.
What the true inspiration for modern female action characters is current Fat Steven Seagal, where he just stands there and barely touches you, and the other guy does all the work of flipping himself over.
Oh,
I'll
come on.
have no
Now,
fucking Steven Seagal.
Doc, I think
disparaging.
Shit
I think you're
talking?
wrong.
Not on this
Hey,
channel.
I love me some Steven Seagal, but the reason why people don't really like him is because he doesn't struggle enough in his
No,
movies
there's-
often.
Well, the
Jealous.
reason that people don't really like him is because he's a dumb asshole. That's why
That-
people don't.
that-
No,
really
he was a
like
That too.
police officer and he was put into a coma for 5 years and woke up and had to get revenge. What are you talking about? He went through a lot of stuff.
him. No,
Well,
he's
out
and
for justice.
because he had a big penis, the nurse was really there waiting.
He is
Oh, that's
hard
right,
to
that
kill.
moment where, like, he had to have that scene in the movie where the nurse looks under the blanket and it's like, oh, it's like, oh, come on.
You don't know that wasn't in the script.
You can't take a hit. You can't, you're
I know,
never in any
I know
danger.
that wasn't
Doc
in
is
the
actually a little
script.
bit behind the times because he said that he said that Steven Seagal stands there and he doesn't.
No, he
anymore. Now
lies.
sits
Oh,
in a
he sits
chair.
in a chair now.
He's like a sniper, and he's wearing like he has the hat backwards, and he's in a prone position with a sniper rifle, and he's talking to hot chicks for like one scene.
Yes, I'm gonna lay down in this scene.
Rate Deck 7. Maybe DC will create a new separate line of true all ages DCU comics featuring a classic, but with a new updated take on the heroes.
I feel like they've done this in the past.
I don't know that they need to create anything new. If they want to do stuff like that, they've got an 80-year catalog of that.
Yeah, just re-release the stuff in an
Compact
organized way
comics.
for people to be able to
Yeah.
engage.
Honestly, if they re-release that like early 2000s Teen Titans run, the Jeff Johns,
Mike McCone stuff.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that was
yeah, Mike
great.
McCone with the Michael Turner
Turner
covers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet.
if they just re-release that in
the
in
compact
the
version,
Tonkabon size, yeah,
Dude,
I think
yeah.
that would do very, very well.
Mm.
Some human just killed me in the comment. He just said, "Anybody seen Richie?"
Hey, Nico.
You all laugh and mock, but that was a golden age of action fucking movies. You had
No, I
God,
love
I
those
never-
movies.
Arnold,
My
you
dad
had
turned me
Seagal,
on to
you had
those.
JCVD, you had Sylvester Stallone. It was literally the best of times.
No,
I've
for
never-
people who
never
haven't
thought
watched
Seagal was
Seagal, you want to watch Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Out for Justice, Under Siege
Under
1,
Siege.
and kind of 2. And
Two's better.
there's one other movie that I'm forgetting.
Exit Wounds.
Fire down below.
Exit
Wounds is
I
okay.
had Fire Down
Because
Below.
he had DMX in it.
Okay. No, there's
Fire
one
Down
more
Below
from
is
his
so much
classic
stupid.
like opening run that I'm forgetting. Somebody put it in the comments. I think
Mark
I'm
for
missing one.
Justice.
Yes.
Yeah, with Screwface. Is
He's
that the
hard
one?
to kill. He's out for a kill. He's
You know what I
hard
just
to
saw
kill.
recently that is like another one from that era, but it is glorious, which is Jean-Claude Van Damme's Hard Target.
Uh-huh.
Incredible.
It's shot by John Woo, and
Yes.
it just contains some of the most beautiful action
You
shots.
also got Wilford Brimley with a bow and arrow going around, and that rules. He's on horseback with a bow and arrow, dude.
oh, dude,
Hard
and
Target's
it's
amazing.
Lance Hendrickson and
He punches- he
and
punches
the
out
mummy
Snake,
bad
and
guy.
he pulls his leg out like a 6-shooter. Like he pulls his leg out of like his blazer and like uses it like a 6-shooter on guys. It's amazing. Hard
Dude,
Target's
it really
great.
is good, even though he sucks. But also Yancey Butler's in it, and she is one of the most
Why are we-
beautiful.
Saying John
He
Claude Van Damme
punches-
sucks.
He punches out. A
I didn't say he
snake
sucks. I
in
said he
this
was good.
movie, and it opens.
No, you
with the
said
coolest...
it's good even though he sucks.
Well, his acting isn't very good. He's very
No.
he's very wooden and just kind of
Look, the movie.
he's just
opens
kind of
with it
suave
supposed
all the
it's
time. He's
supposed
just
to be
kind of
cool.
quiet.
He's
like
sitting
this.
there. He's sitting there holding his coffee mug. It's supposed to be cool, and they're like, "How's the coffee?" And he looks over with his mullet, and his bad mullet, and he goes, "It's tolerable."
Yeah,
There's no such thing as a bad mullet. Like where's all these negative opinions
Theo
coming
Vaughn.
from? I don't
My
get
case,
it.
I rest my case. Theo Vaughn. There's a bad mullet
Yeah.
for you.
but the cool thing about Hard Target is he's surrounded by really good actors. Lance Hendrickson's incredible, and Lance Hendrickson's number 2 is the mummy from the Brendan Fraser's Mummy. He's the actual bad guy, and he's great. He's really charming. And then
Arnold
Yancey
Vosloo.
Butler is like super hot. And
Hey,
you know.
I still love sudden death because we get the penguins and they get to blow up the old jumbotron.
Yeah.
In the old arena.
So Luke says Encrypted #2 is on my store. Luke Korlowicz Art. Definitely go check that out.
Luke,
Throw
that's
it
a,
into your.
that's a hard
Googles.
last name to. That's a hard last name to spell, brother. You might be hurting yourself with
Korlowicz.
that name. Like, yeah, you might want to You might want to have something simpler. That
Luke
you can just
K.
fire off for people.
Corlo, something like that. But it's a lovely name. But I don't know if
nothing
that's
against the
pronounced.
name. I'm just
lovely
saying when
name.
you're trying to get people.
But
to
if
find
you're
you-
interested, go over to his website. That's where we found Dolan Waddick, aka Drew. Sam Raimi had to come in and do reshoots of Hard Target.
Really?
Guess that makes it even better.
Oh yeah, really? Sam Raimi produced that, which was interesting. He's a big fan of like Asian cinema or whatever, kung fu cinema. I noticed his name immediately. It's beautiful. It really is. Like if you're like a filmmaker, and I'm not.
The
I'm more
Revenant is
writing
beautiful.
things.
Hard Target is fun.
No, it's really, there's some impressive things in it. It's really, the shots that are in that movie have no business being in it. They
Well,
are
like
that good.
gloves?
Like it is a work of art, and it's like, so much of it is very weak compared to some of the pieces, but the pieces are better than the whole. It really is very good. John Woo's good.
Very nice. Now, speaking of Drew Dolan Waddick, whatever you want to call him, he is a part of the sponsorship of today's video. Let's hear from these guys. Anybody heading to MegaCon 2026, TCM Press and the Comics Mint are back with exclusive limited edition comics you won't find anywhere else. And the best part, Editor-in-Chief Aaron Sparrow, head writer Drew, aka Dolan Waddick, and artist Thiago da Silva will all be there signing copies and talking comics with you. And you're going to want to put these on your must-grab list. Silent Nights issues 1 and 2, including a very sexy VHS homage cosplay cover by Raichi and preview edition cover by Thiago da Silva. Unholy Nightmare issue 1 and 2, featuring an exclusive cover by comic legend Dan Fraga and Shelby Robertson. And finally, a surprise drop. Kneel Before Doomface preview edition with a jaw-dropping homage to Jim Lee's Uncanny X-Men number 274. You already know Aaron and Drew. Now you can meet them live and in person. These are MegaCon exclusives only. You snooze, you lose. Very nice, Aaron. You getting excited? Did you pack your bags?
I mean, not yet. Why would I do that now? That seems a little premature.
Want to be ready? I guess.
I mean, I got the suitcase out. The suitcase is out. I did that part.
All right. Well, that was fun. It was a good, uproarious show. I think everybody can have a fun time on this episode of The Aficionados. Sparrow, now you might not have any comic books to recommend. Do you have any toys to recommend? Anything cool that you want to show off to the people?
Oh man, no, I don't have anything like right here at my desk. That's well, I mean, yeah. Actually,
Don't you have a Dr. Doom or something to show?
I mean, I moved. So I cleaned off my desk. I took all the paints off my desk. I got a new shelf system that I moved all my paints to, so my desk is like pretty clear at the moment. But I do highly recommend the new Masterverse Mantenna from Mattel. If you guys like the Evil Horde, this is and you missed previous versions, this is a pretty nice one. He's pretty horrifying. It's tough for
I
me
thought
to
they
say
had a new
whether
name for that now.
Oh yeah, they do. So, but this is still Masterverse. The new one is like, I don't know, like, what was it? I can't remember. But yeah, they're doing a packaging refresh.
Criterion Collection.
The Criterion, yeah, that's the Masters of the Universe Criterion Collection.
What else you got, Aaron? Anything else
That's
to
it.
show off?
That's all I got at the moment. That's all I have on my desk.
Well, I'd like to keep you full size here for a minute.
Hi, everybody.
Looks like we've lost Mr. Blaze Snyder. Did anybody else recognize that Jesse misspelled his name?
Just W.
Maybe that was just like his being artistic because he's he's pretty artistic.
Or
All right, so are you going to recommend any comic books? Because this was actually a
Yeah.
pretty decent week.
I had
Not
a good
great
week.
but a pretty decent week.
I had a fun week. I enjoyed everything that I bought from my local comic book shop this week. But there was a huge snowstorm that hit Boston on Monday, Tuesday. That we got like 3 more feet of snow. So the Marvel books didn't come in this week. I did not get my copy of Infernal Hulk. I'll pick it up next Wednesday and I'll read it then. But I did make up and got last week's Absolute Batman 17 with incredible art by Eric Canetti. This is such a fun book. I haven't read an Absolute Batman in months, and this was just so easy to get into. We were introduced to Absolute Poison Ivy, and it's just fun, and it's a beautiful book. This is really good. And I bought this just to piss off my friends here. I picked up the variant cover for the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 facsimile because I am a fan of the new Frank Miller style. I mean, I know it's not gonna.
It's pretty good when it's just a couple of lines in black. I'll give you that.
Exactly. But it's like, okay, I have an affinity towards this. I've been really pleased with this kind of level of Frank Miller art, and I'll tell you why real quick. It's because it's very cartoony and it's very simple and it's stripped down. And I've seen him recently. I saw him a couple of years ago. So he's kind of frail, and he's so the fact that he's still, this is very, very Frank Miller to me. I can feel the spirit of him in this. I've been a Frank Miller fan since I was 8 years old, since way back in 1981. I love Frank Miller, and so I'll support him. And I picked this up, and because I have so many copies of issue 1 of this anyway, but I'm a big fan of this Frank Miller style. Because it's like he's still doing it, and it still looks like him, and I can feel the spirit of Frank Miller and the simplicity of this. It's very cartoony, and I like that. I'm here for it. Green Lantern 30, this is 32. Green Lantern 32 issue 600 is coming up next issue that I hear. And Jeremy Adams
issue.
Yeah, nice big oversized issue. I really like the art in this. The Montas art is incredible. It's the coloring. It's great Hal and Carol moments in here. And overall, this was a really fun magazine. And the reveal of the other Wonder Twin, Jaina. So we got Zan over at Jeremy Adams' Aquaman, and we got Jaina now over on GL. And I just see like Jeremy Adams loves having fun with these action figures, the Super Friends in a way, because we're of that generation. But my pick of the week, smashing, awesome, great book, Superman number 35. I am so in love with this book right now. The Eddie Barrows art in this is incredible. I love it. And I love a good Superboy Prime story. And this got everything. And it's got the Evil Legion. And I'm having a lot of fun with this. Joshua Williamson. I've been reading this book for 3 years. I haven't missed an issue. This is fun. And it's good to be on. It's good to be on this ride and this run with him. And those are my picks of the week. And thank you so much to everyone.
Very nice. Anything anybody else needs to know about Sully? You got any big?
I got videos coming out. I got more and more comics videos. I just did a video on Ultimate Spider-Man and my 24 issues and my experience and my butcher's bill. I paid $123.76 over 2 years of funny books for what? For what kind of experience did I have? Well, you can tune into my channel.
You defeated Kingpin in the end.
In the end, yeah, they defeated each other, and but it's like I think in the end of it, it was about the Mary Jane Peter marriage, and there is one world out there in the multiverse where there is a happily ever after for those two and their potential.
Yeah, and we never get to see it ever again.
You never know where this is going, but I mean, as 24 issues, I mean, like, but yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man, come and check it out. Yeah,
definitely go check out that video, Mr. Snyder. You misspelled your name, but we're going to forgive you for that. Do you have any comic books that you would like to recommend, or maybe toys or anything?
I did misspell my name. Jeswu. I am Jeswu. Well, it's funny. I'm taking our company, we make boutique music and comic books, and we've actually taken all of the music that I've produced for other people and myself off the internet, and it's all for free on our website, along with all the comics that we've put out, including Strangeland, which I essentially own by virtue of the fact that my father owns it. And the next thing that we're going to be doing with Blacklight District Studio is releasing the full Strangeland comic that was produced by Fangoria Comics at the time. It was one of my first professional works like 20 years ago. And it never came out because Fangoria went under. So our next campaign before we do this anthology comic magazine called Sugar and Bones is going to be this this Strangeland, D. Snyder Strangeland 4-issue miniseries finally completed after all these years. I got Stephen Mooney, who's now gone on to draw many books, but he drew the whole book and only the first issue came out. But we're going to have for free in the next like week or two, Strangeland #1 and Strangeland 2 are going up on the site. Fucking for Our Future, Mythic Legions. We'll have some preview stuff for Kneel Before Doomface and a bunch of our other comics. So if you want to go read some free comics and listen to some free music, head over to blacklightdistrict.studio. And if you want some comic recommendations, every Wednesday, every week, I recommend one of the greatest graphic novels that have ever been made. And some of the stuff that I've read recently, like Donny Gates's Thor run kickoff, which I thought was really fun, The Herald, and things like that. So, I mean, we've been doing this schedule now for 6 months. So there's like 25 different graphic novels that have been recommended, from Mouse and Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Andreyko's Torso and Green Lantern Rebirth, and lots of great stuff that could, possibly get you on a long reading list. Yeah. No, I didn't do Ultimatum. I don't like Ultimatum. Ultimatum, where Blob eats one of the, what does he eat? Wasp or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. That'll never show up on the list. Honestly, the thing that I'm trying to do for the company, like as a whole, and I'm hoping that, sites like yours will participate in this in the future, is I want to build a list, like already with the things that I've been recommending. I've been like making my own list, because I recommend a movie a week, an animated movie a week, a comic, an album a week, and as this lists are going up, there's just so much wonderful art out there. We've been talking about all the stuff that's not great, and there's plenty that's not great. But honestly, in hindsight, it'll come out that a lot of movies that Dylan didn't get to watch this past year were good, and he missed them, and he'll get to catch up on them one day soon. And I want the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not enough to put 6 freaking bands every year. There's so many comics, there's so many films, and as the years go on, the Blacklight District Studio website, we're just going to have lists of recommendations. Read these comics. Listen to these bands, watch these films, because they're really, if somebody doesn't guard it and start like chronicling all of the wonder of the entertainment medium that does exist, it's gonna disappear, and so many people are gonna forget about all these wonderful movies and all these wonderful comics, and I don't want to see that happen. So, this is a long-term endeavor, but this year, Blacklight District Studio will be at conventions and shit, so you'll be able to like interact with us more directly, and hopefully my bestie Aaron Sparrow will be in tow whenever possible. But it's really a lot of cool stuff is going on. So if you want to see cool comics by cool creators and really help give me the opportunity to start hiring all of the people that are there and brilliant and are just waiting to get some good work, please help us to continue to grow what we're doing, because we love this medium and we just want to see it live on past its scheduled death date, which is soon.
So H Sigma Comics says Steven Seagal does a great Calico impersonation at the end of Out for Justice when he nails that dog abuser. Huh? You guys feel bad for talking crap about Steven Seagal?
Those movies are great. I like
Dylan?
Out for Justice is golden. I like that movie.
You know what else he did, Dylan? He taught fucking Anderson the Spider Silva that kick that he used.
True, yeah. No one had ever heard of a front kick before until he taught him.
Worked on it for months.
Yeah.
March for Death is the better one. That's the one to start with.
There's still everything he knows.
I don't know. Aaron keeps bouncing in and out of here. Maybe he'll come back. But Steven Seagal, a great man and a great martial artist. That's all I'm saying.
Man, if you were a fan like me of Steven Seagal, and I was, because basically most of the things my dad was into, I would get into, and he liked fighting movies in particular. He liked Seagal, and but he liked Seagal right at that moment where Seagal had really done little wrong. And I remember going to see Glimmer Man.
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Oh my God. I love Keenan Ivory Wayans too. And I'm just watching that movie going, oh God, this is bad. He's so stiff. He's not doing anything. He's not moving. What is this movie?
All right, Dylan, you got any recommendations?
Yes, Superman 35, Green Lantern number 32, The Peril of the Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery number 1. Way too long of a title, but it's the new Vertigo title from Chris Conn and Jacob Phillips, and it's really good. Infernal Hulk number 4, Punisher number 1, Escape number 6, which concludes the first arc for Rick Remender's World War II story with anthropomorphic animals. It's really good. But check that out. And then Hyde Street number 10, because Hyde Street is back, and it was really good.
Oh, cool. I only read the preview that was in the in their, like, they did a sample book, and I thought Hyde Street was the coolest of their offerings. Is the book sick?
The book is great.
Excellent.
The book is great. And
I'm gonna go find it.
The first 9 issues came out, and then in September they took a break, and they just came back.
I've been spotty reading, just like little graphic novel here, but I keep doing this thing where just whatever comes free, or I can get from a friend, or I can get from the library, is what I read. And my motivation has just been like this. And I finally just went recently, that's it. I'm going back to the store and I'm picking out the things that I specifically want to read, because I really want to get into the Energon universe. So I think that's going to be like one of my first. I want to start like getting that on the weekly, or I don't know how it'll end up being with how many books are coming out at any given time, but like I want to start going to the shop every week and getting into that one.
All right, Del, do you got any big videos people need to know about?
No big videos this week, but I was on Hot or Not this week with you, so
That's true.
Want to
That's
check
awesome,
that
dude.
out.
What's Hot or
That
Not?
was fun.
It's a Patreon backers exclusive podcast that I do every week with all the new comic books.
Hot or Not. I'm like, you guys went on like a dating podcast?
Yes, we went out on a date and we decided that while I like Dylan, we're just going to be friends.
This is like, I need to know more about this.
My opinion on Fantastic Four really broke
Yes.
down the relationship.
We couldn't get over those things.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, Doc, you got any recommendations this week, dude? Uh-oh. Muted it. Okay.
No, I unmuted. I'm going to recommend that you first go and check out our review of Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral #1.
True.
It's
Uh-oh.
I'd say go watch our video before you buy it. But we're gonna go with some toys to start with. I got this. Sparrow pointed it out to me because Target had it on clearance for like 20 some bucks. So Short Fuse and Steeler from G.I. Joe. I fucking love these.
Doc, did you get those toys that I sent to you?
Sparrow still has them. He's still got to
got
mail them
Okay.
to me.
All right.
And then, since Aaron is homaging this for which show is that? MegaCon?
Mhm.
On the
MegaCon
preview, for the
exclusive.
preview
Yeah,
book?
MegaCon.
It's the MegaCon exclusive. Awesome. I figured I'd recommend the original Uncanny X-Men 274. Go check this out and then go back, go down to MegaCon and get that exclusive, because hey, it's an exclusive. So get it. Then we will go with, I just love this. This is such a cheesy, terrible comic, but it's one of those like PSA, like drug issue comics.
I remember
For-
that one.
From Spider-Man, and you got skating on thin ice, but it's got this great Todd McFarlane art. Look at all the little, you know what? The kids look like the way that he drew children in the late 90s when he was doing the that one Korn album cover. So, and then you know what? This is a good comic. I don't know if you've never read it before. It's the 303 from it's just a war comic set during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan back in the 80s, and it's really well done. It's a 6-issue miniseries. You probably find the single issues in back issue bins, but I believe there's a trade of it as well. It's just called the 303. Well, actually, I think it's just called 303. It's not even the 303. It's just 303. But really, really well done book. Good, good war comic. If you're looking for something like that.
A lot of
And
Ennis's
finally-
war comics are good.
They really are. You can see his passion is there in the war comics.
Yeah.
And then finally, we will go with Uncanny 137. Mostly because I just really love this cover. It's the end of the Phoenix saga, and Scott and Jean on the moon with the Phoenix and the Shi'ar and Kree trying to kill her. So it's a great single issue, great end to an event, and so Uncanny 137. So those are my recommendations for this week.
Very nice. Clicchioki says, has anyone seen the new MJ Venom design? Guess Marvel finally caved in. Female symbiote should somewhat look actually like females.
Yeah, they did. But you can also see her hair, because it's the first symbiote where it's not fully covering their fucking body. It's stupid now.
I will
think
be doing her as a choice for the symbiote thing is just such an odd choice. Just don't really understand that. Choice.
But they're also doing a redesign on Null as well.
Well, I mean,
just in time for Queen in Black.
I saw those pictures. They look neat.
Yes. He's like Frosty Null or something like that.
Yeah.
What were you saying there, Sparrow?
The Ice Miser.
Like Anti-Venom Null.
I'm Mr. Ice Miser. Yeah, he looks like Anti-Venom. But Anti-Venom's a great look.
All right, well, that will do it. I'm going to get back to my chicken nuggies. I want to say thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend. And, that'll do it.